American Birthday Party. From the American Broadcasting Company's Bicentennial Center in New York City, Harry Reisner.
Good morning. We're here, and we'll be here throughout the day in this red, white, and blue studio to take a look at what the second oldest major continuing nation in the world is doing to celebrate the 200th anniversary of its independence. We're beginning to get some great pictures from down the harbor on Operation Sail, which is just beginning under the Verrazano Bridge. This is probably the single most dramatic event of the bicentennial.
A 17-gun salute here at the Presidio. The Navy band playing. 105 howitzers going off right now.
The sky's clear here, and President Ford is looking forward to what is obviously his most significant speech at this bicentennial weekend.
As I stand in the place where 2 centuries ago the United States of America was conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal.
These united colonies are, and of right ought to be, free and independent states, that they are absolved from all allegiance to the British Crown, and that all political connection between them and the state of Great Britain is and ought to be totally dissolved.
It was decided not to put all of America's July 4th eggs in one star-spangled basket for this celebration. Instead, local celebrations have been the order of the day. Americans are paying tribute to their national Sabbath in their own variety of ways. And
from the first glow on the Rockies, more than 80,000 Coloradoans looked back through cultural history. At the day-long games, the children rushed for gold-painted nuggets, remembering the first pioneers. The others along the crowded Midway enjoyed all-American hot dogs and Colorado's own Coors beer.
The celebration has been underway for about 8 hours, and almost 1 million people have gathered at the base of the Gateway Arch on the banks of the Mississippi for what's been a kaleidoscopic display of American music, culture, and fun. Almost at the beginning of the day, a barge carrying a brass jazz band left for New Orleans. They'll be playing the Mississippi River all the way along. And the Catherine Dunham Dance Troupe helped trace the origins of American music from the days of slavery to today's contemporary sounds. And even the youngsters of St. Louis got into the act, performing America's children's tale. The finest thing I can find. I think you can see it in the faces here. The people, the million of them that have gathered in St. Louis for the bicentennial, have gotten more than they ever expected. This is Ron Miller at the Gateway Arch.
And here in Hershey this evening, most of the governors of those 50 states have gathered not only for their annual conference, but also to celebrate this very special 4th of July.
What makes this thriving Midwest town tick?
Seward is a town of friendly people. When you walk down the old reddish-brown brick streets, people greet you from everywhere. People in this town are neighbors as well as kind-hearted friends.
Little Seward's got lots of spirit, and it's also got the world's largest time capsule. Inside, a car, a motorcycle, graffiti on the walls, names of the children of Seward, who will be in their 60s when the capsule is opened in 2025.
And the future, of course, my grandchildren, including Catherine here.
And what do you want them to see in 50 years?
You know how we lived in the year 75 and 76.
And how did you live? How is life now?
Well, I think it's very great.
This is Betsy Aaron in Seward, Nebraska.
3 youngsters, descendants of John Morton of Pennsylvania and Arthur Middleton of South Carolina, who both signed the Declaration of Independence, tapped the Liberty Bell with their knuckles. As the tapping took place, the Centennial Bell above Independence Hall rang out 13 times, one for each of the original states. And if that wasn't enough, there was also a giant 5.5-hour parade through Philadelphia.
The view from up here, 110 stories above the ground, approaches the incomparable.
200 years young and a long, long way to go. Let's do this again in 100 years. I'm Harry Reasoner. Happy birthday. Good night.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Table of Titans. It is Thursday again, and happy 4th of July and 250 celebration is being wound up all week as we get into some of the interesting things going on with this 250 celebration. We still got news going on there. We got court cases, Supreme Court's come out saying stuff. We've got criminal cases with some interesting whistleblowers that I ran by just a few minutes ago that we want to get to a little bit later. And the deep state seems to be in a little bit of a panic right now. We start rolling around with new DNI people. So we got lots to cover today, lots of things to get into. We appreciate everybody being here. Make sure you smash the thumbs up, leave a comment at the bottom of the video. I got Space Shot and Tron with me. Tron, what is going on, sir?
Boom time, baby. Let's go. 250 years is coming out in only 2 days, man. I can't believe it's already here. And I'll tell you what, man, watching that 200th anniversary deal back in the day, it gives us hope. It gives us inspiration to continue charging on. And it's a different atmosphere than it was back then, I think. You notice in that video, not too many border crossers, illegals. Again, diversity was all right in certain areas and whatnot, but it was Americana. It was patriotic. It was a bit different back then. And here we are, guys, in 2026, taking back our country from those enemies of the past. And remember, Boss a couple days ago calling out the communists, and Scaramucci model Pulte getting the directive and the job to handle the D-class. So again, so much happening on our 250th. 2 days to go, and you can feel it in the air. And they shut down CERN, baby. We're sleeping better every other night, or every night after tonight or yesterday, whenever it shut down. But good things are happening, man. So hit that thumbs up. Welcome to Table of Titans, and let's boom, baby, boom.
Yeah, not one protester in that entire video there with a sign. What's going on, Mr. Space Shot?
Well, how is it going out there, my fellow world patriots? And hopefully you guys can't hear the going on in my background, but we are having an absolute roast fest down here. Close to 100 degrees today, tomorrow, and the next day. So gonna be nice and toasty here. So hopefully you guys shouldn't be hearing too much of that. But yeah, like Tron and Hulk said, things are ramping up in breakneck speed, and some very, very interesting speeches from President Trump, which was just riddled with all sorts of comms as far as I saw it. And I'm sure a lot of other people did as well. But so much stuff to talk about, and I see Hulk's got about 200 links for us to go through and get over there. But thank you to the mods out there. I see Miss Wheezy is joining us today, feeling, well, still, we're continuing to pray for her. So hopefully she can hang out with us for a little bit this evening. But always keep your prayers up for Miss Wheezy there, and also for Mike's wife Renee would be greatly appreciated, guys. And can't forget to thank Country and the folks over there at Liberty Based News, who are always running a simulcast with us for I don't know, the last 8 years, where we all met there on Patriot News back in the day. So lots to get to, and I'm excited because this is we lost, we won, we lost, we won. Well, we'll see how that all plays out in the long run. But back to you, Mr. Hulkinator.
Yeah, exactly. And we got 4th of July celebrations. I don't know what you guys are all set up to for. We're still scheduled to do Saturday morning, so don't worry. I'm still going to go on there at the 10 a.m. slot or 1 p.m. Eastern out there. We'll go have a little fun out there. There will be some air shows and whatnot. We'll get into that a little bit later as we start getting into some of these other things. But let's start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. Tron, would you like to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance for everybody?
Let's go, guys. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty, justice for all. And that's for each and every one of us, guys. White House reminder. And I don't know if they're still doing this in schools now, but I think that's a thing still, which it should be. And Eagle Ed Martin dropping the, and that's a very famous flag. That is the same flag. Out of all the flags they got to choose, the same flag used in the Q drop. So there it is, guys. On a Delta for June 2nd, going back last year, last month, 30 days and 6 years. We are united. We will prevail. God bless America. And that was 2020, and here we are in 26, still kicking ass and taking names, Midnight Rider. So a reminder on our 250th to keep going and never forget what this country stands for. So let's go, baby, let's go. I'm loving it from the communications team over there on these socials. They've been hitting it for the last couple of weeks. Really, really good.
Let's ask you about that. I mean, because obviously we've come from the days of digging into the chant post and bringing the information back and decoding it, figuring out what they're talking about, and then regurgitating that back out to the regular people here. And it was more shunned back then as it being as a taboo type subject now. But where we are at now with the open communications we're seeing right coming out of the White House press, and I mean it's correlated across all of them. Question is are we doing this as a rah for the stuff that Trump wants to get done, or do you think this holds credence into, hey, let's take down the deep state and see what we can get?
Well, it makes no sense to rah less than a percentage of your base. That doesn't necessarily make any sense. I mean, we don't need to win any more elections. This is the last one until the next one. But again, this is a reminder that the 8 years that we put in is actually fulfilling through. Now, we're not going to know when it comes. We never know when it comes. But these comms are coming so heavy where it feels like they're using X and True Social as the actual boards right now. And this is how the plan was originally supposed to go down, happening in real time, whether it's the messaging or the actual happening. We're seeing it. So again, after 8 years, Hulk, I mean, again, back to that baby. We want to see that baby. We want to see those arrests. We want to see transparency and accountability. But the messaging is definitely, for us in the back. But this is our country, man. 250 years of freedom, and we have to keep it, or else we're going to lose it. And this is a chance we have to do it. And if any president's going to do it, it's DJT. So hold on tight. We've got until November, and hopefully we can take House, Senate, and everything, and then roll that into the 2 years. And hopefully maybe we'll have Little Diamonds return again. Let's not put our eggs in one. Let's not get too excited. But no, the messaging's been great, and we just have to hold tight and continue supporting our president.
What do you think the normies thought when they saw those come out of the White House?
Well, that's the thing. There's no media attention. Back in the day, you would have had tons of articles. The reporters would have asked. Now this is just all gas and no brakes, baby. So, it used to be a conspiracy theory with JFK Jr.'s alive and flat Earth and boom, boom, boom. But no, man, this is patriotic. This is Americana, and I love the messaging. It's almost like they hired us. It's like they hired some anons on the half chan. From back in the day to do this, but I'm loving it, man. It's very inspirational.
Yeah, because you would have popped it in there from this one, America the Beautiful, never be a communist country. We'll get into those commies a little bit later as we get into there. A couple of tidbits.
Americans have always deeply believed in the promise of Christ's words in the Gospel of Matthew. With God, all things are possible. With God, all things are possible, right? All things. That's why as we prepared to enter the 250th year last month, tens of thousands of patriots came together on our national mall, and we officially rededicated America as one nation under God. And we're not changing. We're not changing. And we always have been, and we always will be. We're not going to let them take it away.
Yeah, long way to get there. I mean, hopefully we could turn that back around and get back to a faith-based group of countrymen here. Just with the influence we've seen from foreign entities, you could see the problems that you run into. Thank you, Philly Q, for the one gifted subscription out there. Thank you. But thoughts here, you guys.
No, this is what we need. This is what we didn't have back in 2016. I mean, Kim Clement, we're not going to have a religious president. We're going to have a praying president, and this is what we have. This is what's going to take us across that finish line and solidify our America 250 and make sure the communists, make sure the infiltration instead of invasion never happens again. And we need to do it with the real boss, and that's from up above. So boss getting spiritual in 250, and this is exactly what we need. We need faith back in America. We need God back in each and every one of us, and this is how we defeat the enemy. They hate this. The enemy absolutely hates this, and we got to keep on doing it.
Yeah, it's going to be a difficult next couple of years as we get rolling through some of this other stuff. So just to put this out there, Space Shot, you there?
No.
Yeah, read a little bit of that.
How old were some of the America's founding fathers in 1776? Thomas Jefferson, 33. Hamilton, 21. James Madison, 25. John Adams, the old bastard, at 40 years old. And George Washington, 44. After taking a lot of bullets, not getting killed from them, which is interesting, right? John Hancock, 39. Ben Franklin, he was the old dog there, 70. Patrick Henry, 40. Samuel Adams, 53. Thomas Paine, 39. The United States was founded by a remarkable mix of young revolutionaries and experienced statesmen. Perfect.
And stayed right below the level of drunkard. According to the Supreme Court.
Well, and
just
this is
below
what
that.
Boss is doing right now. I mean, this administration has a lot of youth. It has a lot of experience and also non-experience. So this is kind of reminiscent from back in the day. I like what's happening. This is good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just thought that was interesting. We did a little note here. R.I.P. to this one, Tron.
Village People singer Victor Willis is dead at 74. He was a great and happy guy who loved that I used his group song YMCA at my rallies. It became a monster hit. Again, 30 years after its original launch, many singers and groups wanted to get on board at the rallies. After all of the rally attendance records were set, the crowds were and are enormous. But Victor and the group was there for us right from the beginning. They love the action, and we love them and their great and uplifting song. We will thank Victor every time YMCA is played, like today and all throughout the July 4th birthday week. My condolences to his wonderful family and group. Victor Willis will be sorely missed. God bless him, President Donald J. Trump.
He was the last surviving member in the group. He had taken a hiatus between 80 and 2016 because of legal rights until he got the song release and says that he actually owns the song that he wrote, and then he came back to the band and went on from there. And then Trump picked him up shortly thereafter and had him start playing the rallies, just as an FYI out there.
And that's a gay song. Instead of like,
no, it's not.
Men.
Do you know what YMCA stands for?
Yeah, I know it's a YMCA song from the original Christian, but this is what I'm saying about the symbolism. Y'all got to wait till I get to the beginning. The symbolism is we take it back. That's why Boss, it starts as Christian, it goes gay, and then we take it back. All right.
You ever see the outfits when they were performing? A little zesty.
Zesty.
Just really quick, what you just mentioned about God and stuff, and I said last week that 250th rally that they had, that was literally like rededicating our whole country to God. Like almost every time in between, that's what it was. So I think that's, like Tron said, very much needed, that we need God back in, God, not Allah and all these other crazy.
Any Democrats there at that rally?
Probably not.
Okay. Here's my point. What else we're going to get into? All right, we get new Social Security. So not only can you get the Trump 250 version of the passport, but you can also get a Social Security one too at the same time. So reorder yours today if you need a replacement. Limited time only. You can get it to anybody. Anybody can get this.
All this memorabilia. This is fantastic. Then we have to go searching for those quarters out there. There's only like 250,000 of them.
Dude, the biggest freaking like a needle in a haystack. So yeah, if you find those, they're going to be worth something there. What else do we got? Another one from Tron out here as you were putting this out. This is coming up of Patriots in control, and as we talk about the Q-isms and the Q mantra that we do get out of the system with the rah, 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 this was also one that you had picked up over here.
Yeah, guys. I mean, this is from our White House. Patriots are in control. And then right there on the Delta, fist pumps regarding POTUS and Q encounters. And that had to do back in the day with the rallies. Keep up the good fight, Patriot. This will be a very common theme known only to you. Feel proud winning. Where we go one, we go all. Boom. And again, the messaging from either... Now, remember, this all started from the Department of Labor. And then we had a little bit from some other social media accounts. But this one from below, Hulk, it comes from the White House directly on June 27th. Patriots in control. And again, the media can't do anything. This is that little spark of inspiration locked in. And again, on America's 250, this is what we need. And can't wait to see what the messaging continues on. But let's get those arrests going, man. Locked and loaded, baby.
Did we ever have any Patriots fight come out of the White House or anything? Patriot Fights board, those types of things. Remember, we used to have that board. I was just wondering.
I haven't seen any ones that say Patriots fight, but just Patriots are in control. And a lot of other
Just
weird ones.
You also had thrown this out there, Tron.
Yeah, there it is, guys. From Department of War on June 26, Patriots have always been in control. And there it is, that movie poster meme-ish. And some nice deltas there, guys. Stand at the ready. On the same day that this was released 6 years ago, as the darkness falls, so does our enemies. Dude, these ones are so amazing. The next few weeks will demonstrate our resolve. And that brings in July 4th, Independence Day, where we go when we go all. And another one, rising to the occasion, understanding what's at stake. God bless each and every one of you. We will not fail. Where we go one, we go all. So how awesome is that, guys? Department of War and the White House pretty much going back to back right there, always in control. And that's how we know the future. That's how we know the future. Another one from Homeland Security. So now we have Department of War, we have the White House, and Homeland Security getting into the mix. Our forefathers' struggle for independence was a righteous one, and their appeal to heaven was answered. 250 years later, we honor their legacy by fighting to protect our homeland and preserve our values for God and country. And what an amazing coincidence that on the same day, going back 7 years, for God and country. That's on the same day. And not only that, dude, like we're getting spoiled with these amazing memes and, you know, the messaging, but now they're hitting deltas. If they don't hit a delta, they're hitting a timestamp. But I'll tell you what, 90% of these are hitting deltas going back 7 and 6 years, sometimes 8 years. And there it is, for God and country, Patriots fight. Never forget. I love it, man.
I can't wait till the 10-year deltas.
Oh, jeez, no.
I had to roll by this one here out here. Today's is social media day. What social media post would be forever remain unmatched? Right there from the White House. I agree with that 100%.
Yeah, that's called counting your chickens before they hatch. And that was her looking glass that was black. Remember, it was 99 to 1 chance she was going to win. All that money, all that inspiration, and boom time lost, guys. This was on her birthday a few weeks before the sadness ensued and America got turned around. But the White House doing a little trolling is what we call, yeah.
Little trolling out there. So we've got, just as an update there, because you're going to have that, we'll show this on Saturday too. Space Shot, you want to read a little?
Why, certainly. And actually, let me thank, and then maybe Tron and or PJ can help me with this one. PJW dropped a $17 Rumble rant. Is quoting, says, scattered thunderstorms and potential for severe weather could bring brief disruptions to celebrations at Mount Rushmore National Memorial during the America 250 event. End quote. And then it says, drop 55. Which happens to be the My Fellow American post there. So, all right, I'm going to read that along and add in what you can to that, PJ and Tron. If you got anything else at the end, let me know here. But on January 4th, 2026, we celebrate 250 years of American independence with a day built for the history books. This is so awesome. 12 o'clock p.m., media entry opens. 1 p.m., guest entry opens. 1:15 p.m., military flyover demonstration begins. Oh, God. 5 p.m., so we go from 1:15 to 5 p.m., opening programming begins. 2 hours later, at 7 p.m., a Salute to America program begins. 9:45 p.m., remarks by President Donald J. Trump begins. And then 10:30 p.m., largest fireworks show in history, guest entrance at 14th Street, blah, 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 blah. But, dude, that's a whole day of events, Hulk. We'll be starting. We'll be live at 1 o'clock already anyway.
Here, read this.
Oh, God. Flyovers and demonstrations along the National Mall and Washington Monument grounds include NASA F-5 flyover, NASA Fleet Review, U.S. Coast Guard Hilo flyover, Coast Guard Fixed Wings flyover, Golden Knights Leapfrogs, Army Hilo flyover. We got some fireworks going on outside my window if you can hear that. U.S. Air Force Fleet Review, Wave 1, 2, and 3, which are heavies, AFSOC, and then fighters, executive rotary wing aircraft, and then U.S. Marine Corps Fleet Review, Wave 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, rotary fixed wing fighters, United States Navy F-18 demonstration, which is, dude, that's looking like just that F-18 demonstration might be close to a half an hour. So 4:21, and then 4:59, the Blue Angels, United States Navy Blue Angels, Marine Corps MV-22 Osprey demonstration, U.S. Air Force Fleet Review fighters, tri-bomber formations, F-35C demonstrations, U.S. Air Force Thunderbirds demonstration, Air Force One flyover, Air Force Thunderbirds Delta break, huge one flyover led by the newly renovated Air Force, U.S. Stealth Air Power flyover, F-22 Raptor demo, F-22 in Afterburner, B-1 flyover, B-1's in Afterburner, huge one flyover review, Golden Knights Twilight Jump, B-1 Afterburner Night Pass. Dude, that might be pretty cool.
At 10:36 at night.
B1 Afterburner Night Pass. Dude, that's going to be cool. And I wonder about the Golden Knights Twilight Jump. Are they going to have, like, some lights on them? I bet they will.
Here, read this little part right there.
A huge one is the nickname for the current Air Force One and the July 4th, 2026 Independence Day flyover schedule, with the massive formation led by the newly renovated presidential Boeing 747-8, scheduled precisely for 7:17 p.m. over Washington, D.C.'s National Mall. But Hulk, that's just a coincidence, right?
Everybody missed that. The 7:17.
I didn't even see that
What
list.
the hell is a huge one? What the hell is huge one? And then that's the name for the new Air Force One. So
Huge one.
Trump named it.
Really?
What is it? What do you call it? The huge one?
It's called the huge one? Really?
Yes.
Huh.
Let me see.
Trump's big, giant, massive, huge one.
It's called the huge one. Oh my goodness. That is awesome.
So that's coming out from the official release of the time schedules, which is basically every 20 minutes, give or take 10 or so itself. But yeah, huge one has a flyover 2 times, gets to buzz the tower twice.
That's crazy. And dude, how much firepower while we have all of these conflicts going on all over the place. So it seems to me he's not too concerned about, anybody else doing anything, because there's a lot of firepower going into town right there. Holy crap.
So yeah, it's going to look awesome. So that's going on there. What else do we got for you? Got a little video. We'll just play a little bit of it for you. Landing. You see what the pilots are holding out of the escape hatch right there? Out of the top of the airplane, the little American flag.
Yeah. Little. Oh, that'd be cool if they left it there the whole time. But it wouldn't.
No, when they landed, they popped it open, jammed it in the door, and they came in for a taxi. So same colors as JFK's plane. Interesting. Just saying, it's just reversed a little bit.
Hey, if JFK Jr. comes out of that airplane and fixes our election integrity, then I'm all for it. But until then.
Exactly. I just thought that was cool with the American flag, and the pilots had done that. Yeah. So that's the new Air Force One. It's going to be part of their extravaganza coming up here very shortly. We won't see the Air Force One, the old plane and the new plane together very much longer. It'd probably be the last time they're ever going to be together on the same airport tarmac in a while. They're being retired, which I don't understand. Why don't you hold on to those and let JD Vance and the rest of the crew use those guys versus using the older generation stuff that they're flying around now? But that's me. I don't know how that all works. So, yeah. Should Trump run again?
They cheat like hell, but we won it by a lot, and maybe we should run again. Should we run one more time? I'd like to do that.
He's going to totally do it.
With JD Vance, you think? It's the only thing I could think of going. AOC seems pretty happy that she hopes that JD Vance is the pick, which I find strange.
Really?
Yeah. He's very happy at that with some of the comments out there. Yeah, here, we'll just more out there.
We have some great oilmen here. I don't know if they're happy or sad. I don't give a damn if they're happy or sad. I want the prices to go down, and the oil is dropping like nobody thought possible, but I told you it would. Total control. We have total control of everything. This is just the beginning of the golden age of America. We're in the golden age of America, and America is going to experience something that I can truly say, I believe the best is yet to come. It's going to be coming, and it's here, but it's coming at speeds that nobody thought possible.
Music will take that out there. So just wanted to throw that little part of the front part of that little video there. I just thought it was interesting, as he says, the best is yet to come, which we all remember right before the 2020 elections. That was coming out from Joe M. And the entire Trump administration all tweeted that all at the same time. The best is yet to come with the video from Joe M.
Also the name of total control. Go ahead, Tron.
Oh, Ivana's book back in the day, ex-wife, was The Best Is Yet to Come.
Was
I
What?
think it actually.
Wait, say
that's
that
her,
again?
Ivana Trump, boss's ex-wife, had a book after the divorce called "The Best Is Yet to Come," and that was how many years ago?
Oh, shit.
So, yeah, boss
Wow.
stole it from. Yeah,
I was just going to
That-
quote Oliver Anthony and say they want to have total control, want to know what you think, want to know what you do. But that's been a point of contention to Hulk and Tron, as a lot of people do know. There are some people that believe throughout this whole operation they've been in complete control. Some people believe maybe they kind of lost and had to fight their way back. But that might mean that in that post, it might not. But he did say it twice, so very interesting.
well, I like
Yeah.
the one that goes, Q. How do you know the future? Control. Just
Control,
as simple
yeah.
as that.
They only give them so many avenues to go. They could pick, but eventually it's all funneled down into one, and hopefully we're getting very close to some of those answers. What else do we got there? Theodore Roosevelt to President Trump, 116 years apart. Almost got it by just needed another year.
That would have been crazy. That was pretty cool too, dude. And that reminds me of Tron's video there, the Looking Glass video, where he went through all the old books where they showed the what was that? It had like a Trump train or something like that. But
Yeah, that was Charles Delshow drew a Trump train with a blonde character at the end holding a bag, red, white, and blue a flag in the back from the early 1900s. And that was in a series of other artworks that have Trump's name in there as well. But always fascinating to see the Trump train. And one of the proofs from back in the day on July 30th of 2016 was Boss putting out a Trump train via a Thomas the Engine and shouting out someone named with the word Pepe in it. And it was one of those coincidences where Boss actually posted on the board prior to Q in the year 2016, and it involved a tweet of a Trump train. So this is kind of cool to see that go full circle back to the beginning, pre-Q days then. But this is fantastic.
Q train, as Glenn Jones says out there. Oh, yeah, same plane or same train as Theodore was in. So I find that very historic out there. What
Cool
else do we got?
speech.
We got. Go ahead.
I was just saying it was a cool speech that he made when he was there, and really honored Roosevelt too.
Yeah, anything notable you guys want to talk about? He said he was, the other thing I did hear him say, I thought it was funny. He saw when I went on the train and was going to get out and go over to the museum, I figured I'd be over there 10, 15 minutes at the most and be out of there and on to other things. He's all 2 hours later. I was telling these guys more history than the stuff they didn't know about. I learned a few things. That was funny.
This was around the time that Roosevelt was shot, I believe. So that's what Tweedle's saying in the chat, that Roosevelt was shot in the chest around the same time that picture was taken. So there's Boss kind of like, that's interesting.
That is interesting. We're also going to go through and show you a couple of notable deports. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to that as we're going to switch gears here. You ready for the next story?
Yes, sir.
All right. You hear about this?
Let's read it. Secretary Rubio just terminated the legal status of a Cuban communist foreign influence operative whose network brought Hassan Piker to Cuba. Federal agents took Carlos Antonio Loga Dominguez and his family into custody pending removal. He spent over a decade working for ICAP, the Cuban regime's premier intelligence and influence front group in the United States. ICAP's own president is a convicted Cuban spy who did 15 years in U.S. prison. For years, they operated in the open, cultivating America's far left to export Castro's revolution here. That era is over. I had heard about this, but I didn't know exactly who this guy was.
Yeah. So he's the backer behind that guy, this guy.
What a fucking time to be alive. What a time to be alive. Speaking of you and Fox News, you were on it.
Piker.
Waiting for the line. Come on, say it.
Bro, Trump is going to put me in fucking prison. I swear to God. What the hell is going on? The McMorrow of Wisconsin has condemned you. Nice.
Yeah, so yeah, he gets a lot of hate mail out there as he plays his socialist communist regime type of thing. And his boss, a supporter, just got deported. Yay. It's also coming out here that USAID ran a fake Twitter to spark the revolution in Cuba in this kind of beginning, funded by Venezuela opposition politicians directly. So it's just interesting thing. Other people are connected into the same type of stuff, and USAID was funding a lot of it, dude. So a lot more than I thought. So I just wanted to throw out little tidbits like that.
They screwed, dude. At this point, I mean, all the funding that shut down was so much and so many different areas. Oh, we're gonna go help with AIDS in Africa, or we're gonna go, foment more violence between the tribes, or is what they were really doing. So yeah, good to see that they put a kibosh to this.
Yeah, we'll come back to some other USAID stories a little bit later. Here, read this for everybody, Mr. Space Shot.
Yay, fancy cars. Yesterday, New York, FBI New York, and Southern District of New York News announced that Miles Guo, holy shart.
Who?
Oh,
Who?
Miles Guo. That's the...
Who's that?
That's the Steve hang. Steve Bannon's War Room dude, the one that he was on the boat, pretty much giving fellatio to.
Where they signed that blood oath deal,
whatever they were doing on that boat.
Yeah, that guy got 30 years. But go ahead.
Oh yes, please. Miles Guo sentenced to 30 years in prison for leading a scheme to solicit more than $1 billion of investments in various entities and programs through false statements and misrepresentations to thousands of Guo's online followers. Guo and his family spent victims' stolen funds on many extravagant purchases, including sports cars and a mansion and a boat ride with Steve Bannon.
Yeah, that really big giant boat that he was staying on, more like a yacht.
Wow.
Oh. Remember that whole song, Take Down the CCP? Yeah, he was funding a lot of influence campaigns. So, yeah, kind of fits in a little bit more with that Epstein and Bannon shit, too.
I wonder if they're going to connect that with the Epstein and maybe take down some others that we thought were patriots back in the day. Maybe that's the next deal. I mean, Anna Paulina Luna came out with disclosures of influencer network coming soon type of deal. So maybe this is going to wrap into it.
Dude, you know what the best part about that is? Guess what 3 names are not going to be on that list? And I can bet you the whole bank. Space Shot, Hulkinator, and Tron.
I'm still looking at my DMs. If anyone wants to throw me some retweet, $700, any kind of stuff like that.
$7,000 post. Gotta fix that friggin' smoke detector, We need the batteries.
I know, I need a 9-volt, dude.
I have a fire alarm detector. I don't have a smoke detector. Mine's late.
So this story comes out from about 2022 around there is where this particular story started to pick up steam over here when they started to go after him. So just interesting where the investigation started. Here's another one right here. Read this one for everybody, Mr. Space Shot.
Him.com founded Mega Upload, a file hosting site shut down by the FBI in 2012. U.S. prosecutors indicted him on charges of conspiracy to commit copyright infringement, racketeering, and money laundering. They alleged the site enabled massive unauthorized sharing of movies, music, TV shows, generating over $175 million in revenue, while causing hundreds of millions in losses to copyright owners. New Zealand approved extradition in 2024 after 12 plus years of appeals. His latest appeal was denied today by the Court of Appeal. A final Supreme Court option remains. Dude, I had no idea this. I thought his case was already done. Like, I had no idea this was still going on. Not so funny, fat fuck.
He's going to be extradited to the United States. Quick part of the story itself, he had Mega Upload that you couldn't crack it. CIA was all pissed. They're like, we want a back door. He's like, F you. I'm not doing any of that. And then they raided his house and put him in jail and took all his shit. And
that was
then
a long time ago.
No shit. If you go look, dude, there's a whole freaking movie like Michael Bay did it on the whole raid and all that stuff that the FBI released and stuff, dude. I mean, you're talking helicopters, the whole thing, raid, like big thing.
And that was a torrent site, wasn't it? It's a torrent.
No. It wasn't a torrent site. It was just a site that was encrypted, but we couldn't hack it because the encryption was perfect. And he's like, yeah, but you can use this to host your stuff on there, whatever you want. He just wasn't enforcing like some people are putting movies on it and giving the links away for that. He's like, I have no idea what's on this site. It's encrypted.
It's encrypted. Yeah, I can't even look at it myself.
That's what he was saying. And they got all pissed and they took it down. So, yeah. That's on that. Other notable people over here. Would you like to read this one right here?
Alexandra Lozano, the abogado de la Milagros, resigned her law license to dodge discipline after her firm allegedly fabricated abuse stories for 54,000 plus humanitarian visas, scamming desperate immigrants out of life savings while she flew a pink private jet. Client, you guys hear that fireworks? Holy crap. Clients left facing deportation. This program's working pretty good then. Clients left facing deportation, lawsuits piling up for fraud and malpractice, and federal probes underway. Yet many, like her, profited big under open border policies that turned immigration into a lucrative industry. Real, quote, miracle would be accountability, full prosecutions, client restitution, and securing the system so this exploitation ends. What a racket. Ooh.
So she flew around in her own private jet, guys, a giant pink jet down in the southern part of the United States, making up these things, these humanitarian visas. Same thing the Indian group were doing, saying, oh, tell them that you got robbed while you're working at my convenience store and you'll get status. Yeah, they're doing the same thing, just on a larger scale.
Damn. Wow.
She got her own plane, though, dude. So, anyways,
pink.
That's what amazed the hell out of me. When we're talking about when they're going through taking out the top people first, these are some of the representation that I'm seeing that, okay, they're going after some of these big top people, these immigration this or fraud that, because other people get knocks on the door. We'll get into it. Hillary Clinton seems a little nervous.
Yes.
Did you hear about this?
Yeah, I mean, I saw this here. To be honest, I didn't read the deal about the article itself, but of course she's going to say, do this. But now you're telling people to break the law.
Here, you want to take a crack?
I would love to take a crack. If it's anything about bad Hillary, I would love to take a crack. Ex-CIA chief.
This is a little bit about Brennan, but it's the same story.
Okay. All right. So same group of bad actors. Ex-CIA chief accused of orchestrating Russia hoax sues Trump admin for vindictive prosecution. Pot, meat, kettle, please. Former CIA director John Brennan is suing the Trump administration and demanding a court order to require officials to preserve records of the criminal investigations against him. Brennan served as CIA director under former President Barack Obama from 2013 to 17. In a court filing reviewed by Fox News Digital, Brennan asked the U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia, that's a big surprise, to issue preliminary injunctive relief to, quote, protect his constitutional rights as the current target of 2 federal investigations by the U.S. Department of Justice. Attorneys for Brennan assert that the DOJ has launched its investigations, quote, at the direct urging of President Trump, and that the investigations amount to searching for, quote, phantom criminal conduct. Oh, we don't need to look far. The filing states, right, dude, this is just... And the funniest part of all this is that they want everybody to forget what they did to Trump, right? And because they want, oh, no, he was working with Russia. All right. The filing states that, quote, regrettably, in some of the current DOJ and Federal Bureau of Investigation leadership have acceded to that direction and are converting the Justice Department into a tool of retribution against Director Brennan and the president's other perceived adversaries. Fox News Digital reported this May that FBI had begun questioning current and former CIA officials as part of a Justice Department probe into Brennan and his role in the intelligence community's 2017 assessment on Russian interference in the 2016 election. Brennan has previously denied wrongdoing related to the Russia investigation and has defended the intelligence community's assessment that Moscow interfered in the 2016 election. According to sources familiar with the matter, as of May, agents had interviewed roughly a dozen officials involved in drafting the assessment, with investigators focusing on how its conclusions were reached and whether Brennan may have misled Congress during his 2023 testimony. At the center of the probe is whether the intelligence assessment, which concluded Russia sought to boost Trump's candidacy, was influenced by the controversial Steele dossier. a collection of largely unsubstantiated allegations about President Trump's supposed ties to Russia that was funded by political opponents. Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche has tapped former Trump attorney Joseph DeGeneva, to spearhead the probe, putting a former Trump attorney in a key role in the high-profile probe. Brennan has previously said the CIA opposed including the dossier in the assessment, though a summary was ultimately attached to a classified version of the report. In his filing, attorneys for Brennan accused the administration of, quote, overreaching actions that, quote, have violated Director Brennan's constitutional rights and will serve as the basis for challenges to any resulting charges, including motions to dismiss any indictment on the grounds that it is the result of selective and vindictive prosecution. Brennan argues that during the course of these, quote, presidentially driven investigations, certain DOJ officials have, quote, taken steps that clearly violate well-established norms and limitations on prosecutorial conduct. Wooza.
So another thing to throw on top of this that's coming out of the CIA that I learned this week also is Trump was talking about getting the list of spies we had and had called Radcliffe over there and go, hey, can we figure out all of the spies we got all over the place just to make sure we have everything under control? And like, he's like, that's a damn good idea. Let's go get the list. And I'm going to review it and I'll get back to you. Do you know what they told Radcliffe? No.
Nope. Really?
You can't have it.
The director.
So the director of the CIA is being denied information from the CIA itself.
Oof, time to break it into 1,000 pieces.
So they won't give up the list because we're afraid you're going to leak it. Shut up.
Oh,
I'm the director of the CIA. Sit down. Can you read 1 and 2 really quick?
Sure. False statements to Congress. We're talking about Brennan here. Regarding his 2023 testimony about the intelligence community assessment of Russian interference in the 2016 election, the man who spent years lecturing America about, quote, Russian collusion may have lied under oath about the very assessment that launched years of political chaos. 2, a grand conspiracy investigation examining whether Obama and Biden-era officials were part of a coordinated effort to keep Trump out of political office. This is the big one. We're talking about the origins of Crossfire Hurricane, the Pfizer Warren abuses, the use of the Steele dossier after the FBI knew it was garbage. The whole apparatus was weaponized against a political opponent. Dude,
that's good. Just
bad.
Those 2 pieces. What they're digging at. This I don't think is happening. I'm going to tell you why here in a little bit as we go through some of these stories over here. This was back to Hillary Clinton again. This is read this one right here.
Quote, the DNI has access to everything that they want to see, said Clinton. Quote, I mean, I hope there are career and even political appointees in various agencies that are slow walking or refusing to share information with Pulte. Oh boy, not good. I mean, who's that lady too? That's too young to be her.
Yeah, so again, he's the head of 17 agencies plus Space Force there. Which means that he gets to oversee the CIA there at that point too. So I wonder if Radcliffe can get access to said list, Pulte can get the access to the list and give it to Radcliffe. I don't know. I just find that interesting about what's going on between those two. So just little pieces I'm thinking about here. Also, the Florida grand jury prepares for a new round of federal subpoenas in Russiagate. So let's figure out what the hell's going on. Would you like to read that? And we would like to pay attention to every word.
1. Florida grand juries prepping new subpoenas. Russiagate conspiracy probe advancing. Joe DeGeneva, counselor to the Attorney General, shifted strategy, dropped one massive case, 50-plus defendants for multiple smaller conspiracy prosecutions. 2. 2 South Florida grand juries, Fort Pierce and Miami, actively hearing evidence. New round of subpoenas expected early July. First holistic review, 2015 Trump campaign launch through 2022 Mar-a-Lago raid. 3 targets subpoenaed. Brennan, CIA, Clapper, DNI, Comey, FBI, and others. New FBI documents exposing Crossfire Hurricane issues. Fresh whistleblowers from the intelligence community and FBI. And Mike Rogers cooperating with alarming new info. Oh,
say that again. Say that again. That last part again.
And Mike, who's this Mike Rogers guy? Jeez, sounds like
Tron. Who is Mike Rogers?
And of course, we do know who he is. He might be muted.
He was tinkling.
He's taking a tinkle. He was the guy that said, hey, soon to be President Trump, they're spying on you. You need to remove the head of the national NSA. Excuse me.
Wait. You forgot the important part. He's going to go meet with them. Hey, can you set up a skiff over there at Trump Tower? Why? Oh, Mike Roger wants to come over and talk to you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like hearing his name back again. 10 years
awesome.
later. That's awesome, man. Mike Rogers.
Yep. And then 4, also scrutinizing double standards, Clinton emails versus Trump and Russia, and the 2017 ICA probe relocated to Florida venues, which is good. Get it out of Washington.
That's the big point that's going on over there. So we'll see what's happening. That's your update. So yeah, Mike Rogers is back around in the cooperating witnesses. So you don't see a lot of that info coming out because I've been kind of looking around and I had to dig into the court case to figure all this crap out. Oh, what the hell's going on? Because Real Clear Politics, the only one that's really following it, and me kind of taking out the important pieces because it was like damn 8 pages long. I don't need that much info. Way too much.
He's a hero, Mr. Rogers.
What else? Oh, here's another interesting one that I had to go dig into. So remember that whole Gavin Newsom thing that I talked about with the supposed Biden administration wanted to go and prosecute Gavin Newsom for the fraud and everything they did in California, that whole story. And then they had Xavier, who became Attorney General of the state of California. The assistant left the position that she was in and to go work for Gavin Newsom and got tied up into some money laundering because they were taking money out of the campaign funds to basically fund her. And then she disappeared for a year. And then finally they came out and told us, oh yeah, she's under an FBI investigation. This was interesting right here. We want to talk about this one down here at the bottom because read that, Space Shot.
Pain in 2-3. Remember that post. FBI got someone in Newsom's inner circle to wear a wire. Oh, we've been saying sting op. Recordings from mid-2024. This comes after his ex-chief of staff, Dana Williamson, was hit with 23 felony charges for alleged campaign fund fraud involving Becerra's account and influence on a big 2023 state litigation. Her lawyer says feds first tried to flip her on Newsom himself. Wild escalation. So that's
right.
Awesome.
I was right that they were, because you heard the inklings coming out that they were trying to go and prosecute these out of California with Bonta, or Xavier and Gavin Newsom all at the same time because they're the ones that were running this particular fraud. And they worked out some sort of deal. He didn't get expelled from California, and Xavier got the attorney general spot, and then she got to go on vacation for a year. Never mind all those expensive trips to Mexico and all the other stuff they were doing. But yeah, that's interesting. Started under the Biden administration.
Dude, much
Merrick
fraud.
Garland, dude.
Merrick Garland. Yeah, he's got to go down too. Dude, there's so much fraud being exposed, like literally multiple times a day, every day of the freaking week. And I'm loving it.
Yeah. So, whether we get justice in the end or not, I just still find this fun that they're going after these people and prosecute them. And this case is not over. As far as I know, there's still 2 other cases going around over there. So I don't know if it's got the Central California Attorney General dude, Bill Lasaley, is on this particular case or not. And we know that there's some election stuff going on, which I think they certified their election now in California. If I remember, I think we've hit the 35 days. And that's a whole nother story we're going to get into a little bit later. So just a little update for that one. What else do we got? Oh yeah, might as well get into this story. You take a crack at that.
Why, certainly. Good morning. All right, good morning. Thank you. Tulsi, quote, "What is also clear is that the ODNI whitewash was designed to hide CIA involvement and collusion in election theft. Multiple members of the Venezuelan regime or cartel who have for almost 2 decades directed election theft as a political weapon against the United States have also been working simultaneously as clandestine reporting sources of the CIA, and to this day maintain clandestine contact with the U.S.'s top intelligence agency." Hey?
So yeah, this is coming out of the last remarks out of Tulsi, some of the stuff that she was leaving that's out there. We still have not seen said report yet. I don't know if they're going to use this to weaponize the SAVE Act or not. I don't know how it's all going to be pulled together. Just little tidbits of things you should be paying attention to where we have not seen the investigation come out yet. We know it's ready. Show it to me. Other interesting thing here is Eagle Ed Martin. Who's he meeting with there, Space Shot?
That's Tina Peters. She's out of jail. Yay.
Is that her house or his house? What's that green thing in the background? You see that? Is that a Pepe the Frog right there?
Where are you looking at?
Right there. But yeah,
that's a frog.
Frog, right?
That's a frog right there.
All right.
I got one of those.
Look, there's an M&M one. I think that's an M&M character right there. I'm just saying, maybe some candies and stuff going out there. Looks like her home as they're having a little meeting out there. And she did make it over to the White House. I didn't happen to see that particular meeting, just her posting this. So I missed that one out there. So
how has her health been after she's been out or during?
As far as I know, she's healthy and going through I think it was cancer treatment she was talking about that she's having. So it's going to be a slow process as she's going forward. But she's a pretty smart lady that was out there. Another thing I want to point out, Eagle Ed Martin put out, look at that.
Oh, shit. I love it, dude.
That was today, just a little bit before the show. So we all know.
They took him out.
What's his name?
Breitbart.
Breitbart. Yep. War. F you. Oh, speaking of that, did you guys hear about this?
He's already dead.
They're playing RBG. Let's read the story first before we jump to conclusions. Go ahead, somebody.
Senator Mitch McConnell was reportedly found unconscious at his Washington, D.C. home on June 14th. So let me check the math there. Yeah, that's like half a month ago. Taken to the hospital, according to newly released emergency dispatch audio. The longtime Kentucky Republican was treated by emergency responders, though the cause of the medical incident has not been disclosed. He has been absent from the Senate since the incident. His office has not provided an update on his condition or said when he's expected to return. And I'm hearing that he's voting still, Hulk. So I'm not sure.
Well,
yeah, he's a dead hologram.
No, I heard that he got diagnosed with rigor mortis.
Dude, I mean, how many times does he freeze? He's fallen on camera, and then he's frozen at least twice, like that we've seen. Yeah. I mean, if that's only what we're seeing.
They can't revive him with cocaine anymore. They can't revive Cocaine Mitch with his favorite cocktail. Yeah.
Yeah, that means China won't have a hold on the Senate anymore over there because remember he's married to the family owns a big China container company there. That's where that story comes from. Cocaine Mitch.
Mm-hmm.
So is he dead? Remember, if he's out and he can't return back, because some people are saying he's in hospice and is on the exit ramp right now, that there's a replacement that's already going to be picked for him, and he is a Republican base out there. But again, they've been yelling at the parliamentarian inside the Senate building that's been slowing everything down, along with the aides that are currently running Mitch McConnell's Senate seat, because it's really not him. He's just a sock puppet.
That's for sure.
So just wanted to throw that one out there. Yeah, we might as well read this one right here. Space Shot.
John Thune, in an interview with Maria Bartiromo, told her that Trump would have to negotiate with Democrat Mark Warner, not Chuck Schumer. So more is going on in the Senate than the public is aware of. Senator Dick Durbin, who we learned was controlling the DOJ, has been replaced with Marsha Blackburn because of cognitive issues. Wait, what? All right,
Dick
Durbin must be a little
Start
older.
back over. Yeah, go back at the beginning. So
Senator
just to make sure, because
Dick Durbin, who we learned was controlling the DOJ, has been replaced with Marsha Blackburn because of cognitive issues. So Mitch's brain's gone, Dick Durbin's brain's gone. That's pretty interesting. And
Nancy
Marsha Blackburn,
Pelosi's still drunk.
3 sheets to the wind. And Blackburn, I think, will take no BS either. So who is controlling all of the shots in the Senate? Who has been in secret control of our nation's purse since 1996? This friggin' parliamentarian. We need proof of life on Maxine Waters, who they're claiming was a co-sponsor of the disastrous housing bill with Liz Warren. Democrat Patty Murray has been writing on the omnibus they have been passing. Former Senator Mullen was removed for confirming that the Senate has been secretly controlling our nation's purse. They put him in at the Department of Homeland Security. Are these clowns going to try to convince the American people that aliens have taken over as they try to herd us into the New World Order? I think when McConnell was found unconscious...
You want to read
that? Yeah. Liquid laugh. I think when McConnell was found unconscious, the GOP voted to go on vacation to avoid questions about Mitch being dead. Mitch is most likely dead. Even his family will not comment about his recovery. Yeah, we do. We very much could have a what do you call it, 2.0 here. But I don't know if they're going to
RBG.
I don't know if they're going to put the RBG rest in peace Mitch or Mitch McConnell or whoever on TV like they did that, because that was crazy, dude. A year ahead of time.
So it's interesting that Chuck Schumer is not the one that you should be talking to. It's got to be Mark Warner over there. So that's interesting. Let's see how this goes in the Senate. So I don't know how the hats are going to change here very shortly, but we'll find out. We're going to get into Supreme Court deals. I also like to throw out comments from a great justice over here. We're going to spend all the 5 minutes to listen to what he has to say, because when he speaks, we should often listen to what he is saying. And he says some very interesting things. Any comments before I start cracking this thing off?
He's just the most solid. Clarence Thomas is my favorite. He's the most solid out of all of them. And what an injustice the last couple of days with that Supreme Court decision on that birthright. That is nasty. But shout out Clarence.
Yeah, here's your video, guys. We'll be back.
Well, let me back up. Did you see The Wizard of Oz?
Yes.
Okay, who was the wizard?
Who was the wizard?
He was that little guy.
He was a little guy. I could have said that.
Yeah. So I think what we do sometimes is we make everything mysterious.
Don't look behind the curtain.
Yeah, we should look behind the curtain. That's what we do in our class. It's not mysterious. There was a young man in our constitutional law class at the end. He said, I'll never look at law the same again. I don't know what his leanings were. I don't care what his ideology is. What we were trying to get him to do is demystify it. It's not that complicated. Why do we make it complicated? Why do we make it inaccessible? I had a buddy who was a quadriplegic. He was one of my best friends. And this is in the days back in the 70s before you had all these flushed curbs and curb cuts. So every time we got to like a curb, it was like the Great Wall of China. And we would have to, if we weren't there to lift him over, lift him downstairs and things, it was inaccessible to him. And to some extent, that's what we do to law. We start talking about negative pregnants and we use double entendres and throw in a little Latin and a little this. Why don't we talk in English? That farmer in rural Alabama has a right to know what his Constitution says. And so what I do is, one of the things I say, and I said even when you were clerking, is that genius is not putting a $20, a 10-cent idea in a $20 sentence. Genius is putting a $20 idea in a 10-cent sentence. It is to make it accessible as possible to average people. So when I used to go back home, think about it. I came from a world of illiteracy or near illiteracy. And when you went back home, you could not talk down to people. That's what they would say to you. They wouldn't use the word condescend. That wasn't in their vocabulary. You're talking down to me. In other words, you're putting me down. But you had to explain things to them without treating them like they're lesser human beings. So it's what we used to say in the vernacular back in the 60s, you had to break it down. In other words, you had to speak without losing meaning, without losing content. You had to explain it in a language that they understood. And I think one of the things that we try to do in the opinions is to explain things to people. I think we owe it to people. In order to do that, we have to know it, as we do in the classes. Look at the eyes on the students when we're done. When they figure out that they know more about Lochner now than they did before, simply because we've read all the briefs and articles about it, et cetera, and we know the story behind it. And all of a sudden they can claim it. They understand it. It makes sense. Or if you look, when I wrote separately in the McDonnell opinion, what I was trying to do is, after all this talk of substantive due process, just simply explain to people, we don't know where does it come from? Where does it come from? It's not in the Constitution. But, so you go back and you say, here's what's there. Now, you don't have to agree, but Privilege or Immunities Clause is actually there. Here's what they actually debated. Now, you can disagree with that, but you can see the coherence. You can see, you can go to Dred Scott, and you can see that it was, like Tawney is saying, blacks can't be citizens. Well, that's remedied in the 14th Amendment. And then it says you can't deny them privilege or immunities of citizenship. So it all makes sense once you go through the history. And I think that's what I tried to do in the opinions. It's not so much to give you some legal theory, but to give you the progress of this provision. And then to show you where it's connected to some of the other concerns they had about blacks in the South being able to defend themselves.
Justice, I wish we could stay all afternoon, but I've gotten
Well, they're leaving, but you and I can stay.
I've gotten the signal that the time is up, but thank you for your remarks.
Well, thank you all for spending this afternoon with us. Sorry to take so much of your time, but and maybe we didn't cover everything that you probably wanted us to, but we're going to be talking later on about the Dormant Commerce Clause for those who are interested.
All right, we'll cut it off right there. But I just found that interesting because he's speaking about the decision about this birthright citizenship and the 14th Amendment and everything that we are going to get sucked into. I think this is a month ago. So, yeah, it hadn't even come out yet, and he's already talking about this. But again, the whole Wizard of Oz mantra at the very beginning of take a peek behind the curtain itself. You got to go do research. You got to stand up for yourself. Thoughts?
Yeah, he's my favorite, and I got a lot of people in the chat are saying the same thing, that he's the favorite, very passionate, and that he's awesome. And yeah, that was pretty interesting in the beginning there, the Alice in Wonderland deal.
Oz.
Oh, Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz.
And I was chit-chatting back with the folks back and forth, and I said I love his wife's, and I put quotes, theories. Remember, she was the quote conspiracy theorist, and they need to remove him from the bench, and blah blah blah. It's like, oh my god.
Hey, would you read this too? Because this is another one that he had done a while ago. The clip is low, and so I might as well just read it really quick.
Justice Clarence Thomas issues a 91-page dissenting opinion after the Supreme Court struck down President Trump's birthright citizenship order. Quote, the court today takes the extraordinary step of holding facially unconstitutional the president's order excluding from citizenship the children of foreign temporary visitors and illegal aliens, Thomas wrote. Quote, in doing so, the court adds to the sad history of the 14th Amendment, which was designed and understood to secure equal rights for the freed blacks, but has instead been repurposed for political projects that the Reconstruction Congress did not support. Yep.
He said this back in April, and this is really quiet. I thought it was going to be the expert of this. Let's see if this actually comes out, because he's basically telling us again, we got to stand up for ourselves. Might be a little quiet. I'll be quiet.
I think if we don't stand up and take ownership of our country and take responsibility for it, we are slowly letting others control how we think and what we think. I think the beauty of going to school is that you learn how to think for yourself. You develop the discipline to think things through. If you think it's losing confidence, then you get up and you participate. You don't sit on the sidelines. You think that the state is being run and inconsistent with how you feel, then you get up and you participate. You prepare yourself. If you think that the medical profession is not right, well, you become a doctor or be a medical person, and you deal with that. I think we need to take ownership of our country. It's our country.
It's our country, and we need to take ownership of it. That's why they don't teach civics anymore in schools, because most of the new students in high school don't even know what the hell that is.
And he dropped like 4 Q drops right there in that little speech there. And how awesome is that? Imagine, dude, wait until you find out who you've been talking to here. Clarence with a
Oh,
Q.
shut up.
That would be crazy, dude. That would be nuts.
Big thank you for Dragonfly's sister gifted 5 subscriptions to Hulkinator. Appreciate that very much.
Oh, thank you so much, Dragonfly, on my side as well. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, let's break it down a little bit over here, what we were getting. Overall, this is what we got, and we'll get into a couple of them right here. Tron, you want to do a little reading?
Yeah, let's do it, guys. SCOTUS rulings on June 30th, West Virginia versus BP and J. Sounds delicious. 6-3 upholds state bans on trans girls and women's school sports, biological sex. No Title IX violation.
So hold on one second. That one right there is up to the state now.
Oh.
So it can't be mandated. So like California can still put women in there, all that. So it's not mandated that you have to allow them to play. It's up to states' rights. Next one.
Next one, NRSC versus the FEC strikes limits on party-coordinated spending with candidates. First Amendment, and so this is unlimited. Yeah.
So this is the unlimited spending, but still goes with the individual donation for itself. So it kind of strips the power away from the super PACs and saying we're going to go and do this one over here. And it could be more of a grassroots style to get money into other shit. You know what I mean? That's basically what that goes with that. So it kind of kicks the super PACs in the teeth from the Democratic Party if they wanted to go that way.
All right, we got Trump versus Barbara. Birthright citizenship 6-3 affirms 14th Amendment citizenship for U.S.-born kids of undocumented temporary parents. Rejects Trump's EO.
We'll get back to that one. That's going to come up. I got some breakdowns on that. After that, that's day before that.
So yeah, June 29th, a few days ago, Watson versus the RNC, the mail ballots upholds counting postmarked by election day, ballots received later.
So this is up to 5 days is the limit itself. So they could receive said ballots as long as they are postmarked before the date of the election or the day of the election. So we can't have the one on, days later and they're like, we're still counting. So it says, go ahead.
No, but the next criminal activity is them rolling back the postmarks and just, look, we found a bag of postmarked, that's okay. I can't.
Well, those are federally controlled machines. So it's not like the state of California go in there and change the machine that postmarks all these things. They're federally controlled. And I would like to remind everybody that the U.S. Postal Service does own the blockchain technology. It allows them to identify every address inside the United States, whether it's good or bad. They already know. They already have that instituted. Whether they want to tie it into voting or not, we don't know yet, but they have the actual patent for it and use it.
That is awesome. Trump versus Slaughter FTC 6-3, allowing firing FTC commissioners without cause.
Yeah, so he could fire anybody because it boils down to is if the president can appoint the person, he can fire them at any time. That's what it came down to.
We brought you in, we can take you out. Yeah. Trump versus Cook, Fed blocks immediate firing of Fed Governor Lisa Cook.
So what happened with this one over here is they said, again, you could fire whoever you want. The problem is the firing over here for just cause, and there's an ongoing investigation. So we're not going to rule on that this person said step down because what happens with the court case? What if they're found not guilty and then we remove this person from their position itself? So at this point, we're going to make no decision. If you had delegated why you were firing this person other than just cause, because we think their criminal activity might be going on and came up with something else, then we would side with you. Yeah, they could be fired for this particular submission of doing this at their job. That's what it came down to.
Fantastic. And then we have Chatri versus U.S. geofence.
Uh-oh. I lost you.
Uh-oh. We lose Trump. I thought I lost you guys.
Yeah.
Well, while he's doing that really quick, let me thank also Dragonfly Sister for gifting 5 subs to the channel over here. Hopefully he's just got a little blip. There we go.
Hey, you're back.
Yeah, it went out and it came back in. All right, there we go. That's
so the last one is basically you need a warrant. No mass surveillance anymore. The FBI can't go ask for geodata for everybody that was at January 6th. All of them. Everybody that was inside DC, we want it all. You can't do that anymore. You got to tell us who you want it for. So that's what they're coming into. Here, I thought this was funny. Just a quick little joke. Any baby born within 15 yards of an Olive Garden is hereby an Italian citizen. Yeah.
Yeah,
No
that's
funnies?
that is true. That's in the Olive Garden menu. It's in there next to the endless breadsticks and salads.
Here, you read that one.
Women rules. It's okay to be late.
You can read that one.
Imagine if a pregnant lady broke into your house and had a baby in your living room and then says she now has a legal right to stay in your house forever. That's how insane it is, granting birthright citizenship to illegals.
That's coming from Charlie Kirk back in the day. The other thing I was thinking about here is with this new ruling, dude. I mean, technically, if a pregnant lady is flying in an airplane over the United States and she gives birth, is that an automatic American citizen?
No, they're owned by Delta. They're owned by TWA. They got a little bit of that.
That's a bad
automatic
mother.
first class. Yeah, that's
Got to put them in the service carts. Got to get a baby jump seat.
Yeah, automatically gay if it's a dude.
We got to do one more funny because I giggled when I read this.
I would like to congratulate President Xi and the great country of China on their massive birthright citizenship win.
China.
President Donald J. Trump. Dude, he even knows how to troll in times of downfall. Like, this
China.
is fantastic, man. Boss has a plan.
Hey, you remember the what's her name? The Christian lady.
Amy Coney Barrett's.
Yeah, Barrett's children from Somalia. Remember that? Yeah.
Well, Haiti, but that's
Haiti,
they're all
whole Somalia, dark countries. Yeah. So just wanted to throw that out there. All right, breakdown of the decision, and then we'll read some other stuff. Tron?
The breakdown, Kavanaugh narrowest view suggests that parents probably had to be citizens. Alito comes in next, narrowest view. Parents could not be subject to any foreign power. If the country of origin treats the child as a national, they're excluded. Thomas.
He just blanked out again. Thomas and Gorse, domicile is the relevant
criteria.
Why am I drawing a blank?
Temporary visitors.
Sorry.
Thomas and Gorsuch, domicile is the relevant criterion. Temporary visitors out. Illegal aliens might be out. Some might be in. They differ in the question. This is my view for what it's worth. Majority, broadest view. Anyone born, subject to a few historical exceptions, ambassadors, foreign soldiers, and Indians. Wow.
Just as a running deal here, read that for everybody.
Who? Justice Roberts protected birthright citizenship, saved unconstitutional Obamacare, protected Dobbs leaker Sheldon Snook, appointed Boasberg, to reside over the FISA court, protected fake Ukraine impeachment whistleblower Eric Charmella. Roberts runs the judicial coup. Kaboom.
So I had forgot that they had appointed Bosenberg to preside over the FISA court. He was appointed FISA judge because this leader of the Supreme Court gets to pick the judges for those warrantless spy tapping things that Trump was talking about that he wants to go ahead and file. So, yeah. Wow. We going to get, decisions are coming here. Just wanted to throw this out here. You want to read that for everybody?
Federal judge blocks Trump's order prohibiting United States Postal Service from delivering mail-in ballots in some states. Wait, I thought we could get federal injunctions.
Exactly. There you go. Thank you, Space Shot. Thank you. Did we want to do her? No, screw her. Let's do
her.
Where's the other one?
Story.
Nope. That was the one I had right there. We'll get a little bit of this.
Do it.
Want to read that?
There has been a lot of information and misinformation going around the Supreme Court's ruling on birthright citizenship in Trump v. Barbara. Here are the facts. The majority, Justices Roberts, Sotomayor, Kagan, Barrett, and Jackson, in an outrageous ruling, ruled the 14th Amendment guarantees citizenship to essentially everyone, with narrow historical exceptions, born on American soil. Under the majority opinion of the Supreme Court, only a constitutional amendment or a subsequent ruling by the court overruling this opinion could end birthright citizenship for the children of illegal aliens or foreigners. Justice Kavanaugh agreed with the conclusion of upholding birthright citizenship, but on statutory grounds, not constitutional grounds. It's important to remember what was being litigated was an executive order, not a law, and Justice Kavanaugh viewed them as fundamentally different in this case. He concurred with the result, but dissented in part, outlining if Congress changed the law 8 U.S.C. 1401 to provide the children of illegal aliens are not citizens of the United States by being born on American soil, rather than this being done by executive order, he would have upheld restrictions to birthright citizenship for the children of illegal aliens and foreigners. Justices Thomas, Gorsuch, and Alito wrote a number of dissents using different allegiance and domicile tests. Essentially ruling the 14th Amendment does not guarantee birthright citizenship to the children of foreigners. Under these theories, the executive order would have stood and some explicitly wrote Congress. Order would have stood and some explicitly wrote Congress could also act on the issue, similar to Justice Kavanaugh. While the dissents are encouraging, this does not change the fact that the current majority upheld birthright citizenship on constitutional grounds. This means, given the current makeup of the court, a law cannot fix the issue. Only a constitutional amendment or a subsequent court overturning this ruling can fix it. This is why a month ago we introduced a constitutional amendment to clarify the term subject to the jurisdiction thereof. The term used in the 14th Amendment means only citizens, nationals, and legal permanent residents of the United States. This is the only possible pathway to permanently fix this issue.
Yeah, that's good. So that's that point over there. Tidbits over here. As it bounces back, the DOJ has ordered all of the U.S. attorneys to prioritize investigations and prosecutions of illegal birth tourism.
Hell yeah.
So that's going to be a priority for them. But the other thing, because the president does control immigration, he could freeze all immigration into the United States permanently for the rest of the term if he really, really wanted to. I think that would cause some issues or whatnot, but yeah, he could. Just another thought out there. If anybody wanted to look at some cool color charts about different decisions of the way that the court works, so this court sided with him 25 times, against him 11 times, issued 8 mixed rulings. So just interesting. I thought it was cool that somebody had laid it out here that our conservative groups that we got over here, these two are kind of siding with the other side over here.
Red is
so it's a little concerning. What's that?
It says red's against, green is with. And then, dude,
Yeah.
I'm like half colorblind, so I can't see the difference between, I'm putting on the camera the two left ones under the key and then the one next to it, likely voted with Trump. Those look the same to me. And so I can't tell you, is it, I don't know, is it darker green, lighter green? I don't know. But anyway, cool.
There's some purple in there, but it basically comes out that most of the group is always siding the wrong way, voted against Trump most of the time, including, Kavanaugh and Barrett. They're right there in that middle. So I just wanted to throw that out there. So interesting color coding. I also wanted to throw this out. You can read that for everybody.
Barrett, uniparty coward. Gorsuch, conservative. Brett Kavanaugh, conservative until he isn't. What's her name there? Leering Center graduate, magna cum tarded. And I forget her last name. Is it Jackson, right?
Jackson Sotomayor on the left, I think,
Yeah.
or right?
That's Kagan. Kagan is a progressive liberal, and then what the hell's his name? That's Elena Kagan. That's not Gorsuch. Why can't I remember? Gorsuch is over there. Oh God, what the hell is his name? I'm gonna go back to him. Justice Roberts, Uniparty. Clarence Thomas, badass mofo, and Sotomayor, progressive DEI hire. Come on, folks in the chat. I know you guys got this. Let me see. Looking down, and
I forget his name.
Wow, why can't I get this right now? Alito, thank you. ED or Eddie T. EDDET1, Alito, and then Chris Benning, and then Polar America, and then everybody else started to file in. But yeah, Alito, conservative. So yeah, he's solid. Gorsuch seems pretty solid. Thomas is solid for sure. I don't know, dude, about Kavanaugh, but and you know what's making the rounds too this week is like, Amy Coney Barrett was on George Bush's law team, and I'm like, oh, well, somebody else in this group was too, and it's the same president that hired him as well. Kink, Mr. Kavanaugh.
He was also the dude that was on the investigation. He was a young attorney into the Clinton investigation stuff that they were doing way back when. So he was one of the underling attorneys that are doing the investigation.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. I thought that was interesting. What else do we got? Oh, key facts from the Supreme Court, the stuff that they're saying right here, coming from Ketanji Brown right there. So you could just, the executive choosing to act in a manner that flouts the plain text of the Constitution. Instead, to the majority, the power-hungry actors are, wait for it, the district courts. This is her putting this in there. Here, you want to take the other one? Look at this. Read some of this one. You can start it in the aftermath.
In the aftermath of the Civil War, those who championed the 14th Amendment, both within and beyond Congress, understood the assignment. Their work product used language that transcended race and region. After the aftermath of the Civil War, those who championed the 14th Amendment, both within and beyond, understood the assignment. The hell is that supposed to mean?
She's crazy, dude. So, yeah, Alito and the rest of the group weren't very happy with the decision on birthright citizenship, and definitely left some holes underneath the 14th Amendment to see if they can go ahead and get something changed over there. Good luck, guys. That's going to be a hard thing to add something to the Congress, get stuff like that changed. So another disappointing thing, anything you want to say about this? All the stuff we've been through talking about this election, this and birthright citizenship and all the crap we just dealt with on the Supreme Court decisions over the last couple of days, that group?
What must be shown?
Exactly.
What must be shown to engage military intelligence over three-letter agencies? I don't know. You got to prove that they're all fraudulent, like every last one of them. I mean, in the half hour ago, you had a show there or a story that was showing us the heads of the CIA, FBI, DNI. All these people are under charge, and now we're being shown that essentially these people are exposing themselves as well. So, yeah,
exactly.
maybe.
Here. Where was the other one? Yeah, here, read that for everybody. Space Shot.
Supreme Court declined to halt contempt sanctions against I heard about this investigative journalist Catherine Herridge, leaving in place an order requiring her to pay $800 a day unless she reveals a confidential source. Kavanaugh dissents.
From 2017, whistleblower, guy from China talking about, I can't remember if it was like medical this or political that. It was something in regards to that, and then she has held his name forever, and they've been asking her since then to release the name, and they finally got down to being a challenger in the Supreme Court. They tell her, nope, you can keep release the name.
You know
and
what
this is after her getting kicked off CBS too.
Yeah, and then they took all of her information. So I'll be surprised if they didn't make copies of all that and have the name anyways. But dude, I would be like, yeah, his name is Zi Zhuansu, and he's from the Xinjiang province. That's my guy. Good luck. Go find him.
Well, I mean, it's protecting your sources. They're trying to force a journalist to release their sources. Yeah, that's like telling the CIA you got to release your sources and methods.
Yeah, I give him a fake name. Name is Harry
Ronald
Wu
McDonald. Operation Ronald McDonald.
That is the go code.
That is the go code. Still waiting for my fries. And then you can get that one, Tron, from Pulte.
As I have reportedly said, I believe Lisa Cook will be indicted for mortgage fraud.
Damn.
I like how he says "I believe," like he's giving you the foreshadow.
Yeah, and he's still DNI right now here at this point. So yeah,
2 more weeks, I think, and then the next guy. Or Boston, a month or 2, or maybe I don't know.
Yeah, that was an interesting comment for itself. Here's this one for you. You want to read that one, Tron?
The communists are finally making their move. I've been waiting and preparing for this for a long time. It's easy to be a communist. All you have to do is say, I'll give you everything. But that means you're taking it away from others that have earned it. Over thousands of years, that ideology has not worked once. The game is on. Enjoy watching President Donald J. Trump. And dude, that sounds like a drop. That sounds like the first 64 drops. This has been prepared for a very long time. Infiltration instead of invasion. And then even Boss dropping that Kennedy video of the warning from the past. So here we are with that chance to finally eliminate those that wish to do us harm in our country. And there it is, guys. Communists are out. And we still have New York City, where you have to have 85 degrees, 84 degrees to stay comfortable because of, economic and global preparations.
So, yeah, turn up the heat over there. My idea is, why don't they just turn off the AI data centers in Long Island and New York, and then you can use more power for ACs?
No, you have to train those people to, be servants of the communists. That's how you have to do it. And pretty soon they're going to take over the nest. Watch them take over those the thermostats via the smart meters. That's why I don't have a smart meter. I'm the only conspiracy theorist in the neighborhood that has to pay $20 a month because I have a guy come and check it. All right,
I got a nice wall stat. Calling me out. Panther CEO Alex Karp says has been wholesale kicked out of the former Democratic Party. Karp says, and we have the left and the right, the far left, the far right, gone completely nuts. You would think that the greatest problem in the world, if you were on the far left, is somehow it's like if things don't work, it's evil and bad. So he's getting kicked out of the Democratic Party because, again, it's the ideology of the party that's moving and not really the voting public itself. I'm not a big fan of Alex Karp, but he's saying the exact same thing with the communists out here. Going along with those sort of things, let's talk with this lady over here, the one that just won in Denver over here. It's going to be in Congress.
I'm about the same age that my dad was when he came to this country. Betting on the promise, he chose Denver to be our home, because he knew that this city would welcome us. And that same city just voted to send a 29-year-old recovering lawyer, barista, immigrant, Democratic Socialist to Congress!
Yeah, DSA is going to Congress, guys. Again, Marxists are winning. We talked about the one in Utah, the three that showed up over in New York, Mondami backed, and Hakeem Jeffries lost. So, yeah, the Democratic Party is being fractured as we see it right now.
Like a bunch of socialists.
And that's too bad for them, though, right? That's too bad for the Democratic Party. I mean, that's great for us, but I mean, the enemy starts to show themselves the more they start to fail. And do the, like, at the end of the day, especially on America's 250, there's more patriots, there's more of us than them. So go ahead, like Boss said, game is on, and let's just see how it works out in the end.
Yeah, go get active. Did want to throw this out because of the way the Democrats are working out here. Take a look at this story.
Landlords' days are over. Tenants are in power now, and it feels...
Oh, by the way, the Mayor Mondami of New York tried to stop a big sale of apartment buildings that he wanted to consider as New York property and do rent control and all that kind of crap. And New York State would actually, New York City would own those particular buildings. They were denied in court, and the sale were allowed to go through.
Landlords' days are over. Tenants are in power now, and it feels amazing.
We'll have to lay off people. We'll have to lay off some of the supers. Only choice. It's a business. People don't get it. This is a business. It's not a choice that you think this is for free.
Lord speaking out about the burden of maintaining buildings.
My property tax on a small little building is $35,000 a year. Divide that into 3 apartments. That's $1,000 a month. I had to raise their rent twice. Now the tax is going up again.
For people who think this guy...
Yeah, I don't want to listen to that side. But, dude, that's actually accurate, dude. How would you like to pay that much in property tax on a building, $1,000 a month, on top of a little shitty 2-bedroom apartment? That's the way New York's working.
Well, this is how they're going to flush out the owners, and this is how they're moving in the Islamists. But again, you have to remember who owns all these buildings. You can just hear from that guy. He sounds like a Jewish individual, and they've owned the property for many generations. And now, again, they are flushing out not only the people, but free, rent. It's not affordable. You're literally losing money on your investment, and eventually you're going to have to go and just sell it for pennies on the dollar. But man, that is, the taxes. New York is
crazy.
Cooked.
Dude, have you seen some of the houses, dude, that or some of the apartments that they're renting in New York, dude? Like these micro apartments?
Super small, yeah.
Dude, you're talking like not even 10 feet wide, maybe 10 feet long, but like 5, 6, 7 feet wide. And people are renting these out. So I think what they're doing essentially is they're taking old apartments and then breaking those up into, 10 units or something like that.
Well,
it's crazy.
Well, they got rent control in New York, so they have to leave them at a certain pace, and they can't raise the rents, even though that some of these apartment buildings are old, and it might take $100,000 to put them into code before you can even rent it to somebody. So a lot of these end up just sitting, and they write them off as a loss. That's why they're losing some of the rent, and the people who own the building write it off as a loss against taxes. They don't rent it at all.
More. You make more. You actually benefit more by writing it off, probably by doing that. Yep.
Yep, depreciation, all that crap out there. Wanted to throw this story out there because, yeah, you think you voted out your city council.
Residents of the small San Joaquin Valley city of Avenal, California voted in April to recall the majority of their city council. But the city council members are refusing to leave office, saying that the recall vote was conducted unlawfully by the county when it should have been conducted by the city.
It is important for us to continue showing up. Enough is enough. This is not okay.
At a city council meeting on Thursday, tensions were high, and residents gave public comment that devolved into yelling and even police confrontation, although no one was arrested.
It's unfortunate that we do have community members who get very passionate about this issue. It's understandable.
So remember I talked about when the Democrats lose, they just end up changing the rules. This is a direct representation of that, of them doing a recall campaign run by the county to get the people in their city removed or the council removed. And guess what? They just said, no, sorry, we changed the rules. It's not a proper vote. Sorry.
We're going to stick
around. It's got to run by the city.
Wow. That's crazy, dude. Hey, well, they can change the rules, but it looks like these people aren't going to take it. So if you keep showing up, maybe they can take their places and vote them out, but that is bananas that they won't leave.
Even after certifying results. So what's good old Senate over here at Texas race going out there with Taralico, or however you say his name?
You saw it in the anti-LGBTQ legislation, including the bill that would have denied gender-affirming health care to trans children. And then, of course, infamously, we saw it last session with the most extreme abortion ban in the country. All these ideologies stem from this Christofascism movement. You saw.
You made up a new word there. How do you like that one? Christofascism. Yeah.
Wow. Dude, why? The thing is, too, why are people in such a rush to, he wants to, they're blocking all the transgender, stuff with children. It's like, why are you in such a rush to destroy a child's body? Like, why don't you wait till it goes through puberty and has, is confused a little bit and I'm feeling a little bit weird, but maybe they might not feel that way in 3 or 4 years, right? But, all right, we're going to have a mammectomy, cut the boobs off, or, snip the tip there, banana, but like, that stuff is irreversible. And the idea that these people just want to give it to, hey, you feel like a girl? All right, boom, here, take these pills and next week we'll set you up for surgery. It's like disgusting.
Yeah, it's what evil does, right?
Demonic, yeah it is. Straight up demonic.
That's devil stuff in my opinion out there. Just wanted to check in with the candidate mayor for Ontario over here. How'd she go with her sock puppets?
I knew I wanted to run for mayor when Andrea Horvath refused to meet with me when I was the victim of a hate crime, and we were at the safety summit, and she had her communications person, Amanda Kinnaird, stand in front of me like I was a feral dog when I actually just wanted to be respected. That's when I knew I wanted to run for mayor.
Yeah. I think it's a transgender. I'm not sure. I don't know where to put the math on that one. But the sock puppet as being a mayor candidate. Good luck to you, sir. Woman.
Hey.
I'm not sure.
Makes them feel better, It's like a safety blanket. Fucking weirdos.
Puppet.
I'm telling you, dude.
That's strange.
Some of
these people are teaching our children. That's the worst part. They're like in schools, they're teachers, they're daycares. Oof.
I mean, it was funny when I can't remember the lady's name that was on Johnny Carson with the sock puppet, Lamb Chop. What was her name?
No, I know about what was it? Comic The Insult Dog was the greatest one that I liked.
Yeah.
I mean,
I can't remember the actress.
Hilarious.
She'd have been ventriloquist, and she'd bring on Lamb Chop, a little sock puppet. Somebody's going to come up with it.
Lamb Chops.
So that was on there. Here, throw this out there.
When I was on Jesse's show back in early May, I said the Democratic Party we're heading for an orgy of socialism. And now look, and here we are for these things. So these very specific kinds of candidates, these aren't my smears. These are using their own words and their own views and their tweets and the things that they've said and the way they behaved. And then, of course, you have the king of the dirtbags of P. Hustle up in Maine, roughing up ex-girlfriends and spent a decade on the social media called Kick. That's been described as the predator's paradise for why people are on that kinds of platforms. So, as a Democrat, it's entirely appropriate to just call that out.
Oh, wow. Yeah, he's calling a lot of people and Kick. I didn't know that about Kick.
I'm streaming on kick.com right now. I'm over there. Yeah. There's no
how many people are watching?
Nobody. There's
One.
zero. There's nothing.
Yeah, I did it for 6
That's
months.
just super backup.
I had one or two people, and it was Debbie and me.
Yeah, that's about it.
So you got to pay for the bots to show up.
6 months. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Bill Maher always comes out with zingers, but yeah, I think he's right.
You can't change who we are. Yeah. There's just so much of this shaming. A lot of it, people wonder why so many young men vote for Trump. Well, maybe because, he's one guy who doesn't make you feel guilty just for being born with a dick. It's true. It's a lot of his appeal. They make you feel, a lot of, not me, I'm old enough to remember when it was the reverse, so I get the backlash.
What it was like to be born without a dick.
If you're that I don't remember. But if you're 22 years old, if you're 22, you don't remember a time when it was the reverse. So you've only seen the backlash. You've only seen white men bad.
Yeah.
You can't change who.
And I agree with that, even though Kid loves production and all that sort of thing. It's the talking points he's coming out of because, again, the Democratic Party is shifting. That Hegelian dialect is shifting the party around, and when the people are not really moving, most of the people are left in the center.
Yep. Plus, they went overboard. Like he said, they're going so far left, they're coming back around the other side. So, and dude, this stuff ramped up majorly, right after COVID 2021 with the crazy wild, all the people with the crazy wild, nose rings everywhere and purple hair and just nut jobs, acting like loons.
I'm glad they're back in the closet.
Ugh. Ew.
I'm going to throw a quick Tim Burchett in here. We all know him from over there in Congress. He's got some interesting new topics to talk about. So here we go.
Well, I'll tell you this. You went the part where I said I'm not suicidal. I remembered it was another Saturday. I was sitting at the house and I got a call from I'll just say a friend of the administration had told me that
the Trump administration.
Yeah, had said I'd kicked a hornet's nest, and they said you need to get bodies around you. And I'm in East Tennessee. I've got bodies around me. There's enough good old boys out there. I don't know exactly what that means, but it's a literal. Lou will tell you we have kicked a virtual hornet's nest, and these people don't want this stuff out.
Tim has every right to be worried for his life over seeking answers on UFO disclosures. There are at least 12 documented recent cases involving scientists, researchers with ties to U.S. government programs that are UFO, UAP related. This is 12 people that have been killed just in the last few years. So that's a big deal. And Tim has been whistleblowing on things like this before involving murder with the government. Because if you look at some of what he was talking about with the budget, he was talking about when the Pentagon...
Enough of that one over there. Sorry, I was late on the button over there. But the other thing to put into the top of this is the Air Force general that was, I think, down in Arizona, the first one that disappeared that I reported 2 Saturdays ago that he showed up at a Space Force meeting. Yeah, he'd been missing forever. Nobody knew where he went. And the wife called 911 and told him that he walked off with a gun in a pack and hadn't seen him since. And, a month and a half later, he's being reported that he shows up at a Space Force meeting back over there. So this is interesting what's going down, even though we know Tim's over there. This is Hannity. I think a week ago, he's talking about that he's been threatened. So, yeah, it is real.
Or warned that he warned that somebody might be coming after him. Yeah, and I believe the guy you're talking about was McCasland, the one that went out for the walk, took the gun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, a lot of people going missing. Some people found, being found dead. Who knows if some of the ones that they're calling suicides are suicides and not, people being taken out. I don't know.
Yeah, and this is a dude just trying to declass information supposedly about UFOs and all that, and he's getting this much pushback and getting calls from the White House that's saying that, yeah, dude, somebody could be coming after you to make sure you stay quiet. So this is not the first time. I don't think it's Israel, Philly, but yeah, something along those lines. What else do we got for you as the last little piece? Oh, I found this very interesting. Space Shot, read that for everybody.
Colonel Towner Watkins. You probably bumped into her with me on Mr. Beer at the Parade. It's one of the Zoom calls. What is going on in Chicago? The Chicago police chief, less than 3 years on the job, submits his resignation. No big deal, right? Except the FBI chief for Chicago drops his retirement paperwork same day. You know where I've seen this before? Right before an investigation or an indictment is announced. Let's see what happens. Hell yeah.
Maybe?
Sure. U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of Illinois, Andrew Boutros, has opened an investigation into prosecutorial misconduct at that office dating back to 2007. Recent revelations about misconduct before a grand jury by a longtime DOJ assistant U.S. attorney related to the Broadview 6 case prompted the internal review. That prosecutor, Sherry Mecklenburg, left the office earlier this year and was tasked to Dem side of Senate Judiciary Committee. She was fired from that post after a judge forced the disclosures of her misconduct. When all this is said and done, I will tell you that well over 1,000 grand jury presentations will be reviewed in the Northern District of Illinois, Boutros said during a press conference this week. Let me repeat that a couple times. When all this is said and done, I will tell you that well over... Oh, hold on. When this is all... Yeah, no, I'm actually going to record this. When this is all said and done, I will tell you that well over 1,000 grand jury presentations will be reviewed in the Northern District of Illinois, Boutros said during a press conference this week. The potential ramifications are huge, as that office has handled high-profile political prosecutions in recent years. And kudos to Boutros and Trump DOJ for exposing systemic corruption at U.S. attorneys' offices. Thousands of grand juries, dude?
Yep, that's interesting. I mean, let's see if the Chicago area land gets that all together. So, yeah, they're going back to 2007 in those cases. So let's see if those two will hold out in there. Losing the police chief of Chicago and the chief FBI is pretty something you should be paying attention to. So when you're seeing the corruption in the pieces that we've been talking about, is it happening? I think it's happening. Just a lot of people don't report on it or not paying attention to the details.
It's happening with 2 B's.
What else do we got? Oh, yeah. Here, read that for everybody.
To date, 15 Prairie Land terrorists have received a combined sentence of over 556 years in prison. All right, 50 years. Remainder of Antifa cell members in North Texas sentenced for terrorist attack on ICE facility. Oh, they're going to be thinking twice about doing some of this stuff, dude. I'm loving it.
Yeah, the lowest one is 22 months in prison. Everybody else is a lot more.
Damn.
Oh, yeah. Don't shoot a freaking officer in the neck with a gun and try to orchestrate it and then hide. Yeah, they don't like that sort of stuff. Here's another one.
It doesn't make sense, but who knows? Well, folks, looks like the anti-Jewish jihad has arrived. U.S. pro-Palestine terror network plans murder of American Jewish people. Oh, this is like tagging off of the Larry Loomer stuff. A Democrat congressional candidate was involved. Meanwhile, as these terrorists were emboldened, the Biden FBI was chasing, quote, right-wing extremism shadows. Yeah, we were the bad guys, remember? All that extremism.
So, yeah. 8 pro-Palestinian University of Michigan students have been indicted over allegations that they vandalized the homes of the members of the local Jewish and pro-Israeli Israel community and participated in conspiracy that includes plans to poison and murder target individuals. Yeah, so they
how they learn
around.
how to do all that? They look like proper students of education. How would they learn how to? Strange.
Spies like us.
Oh, yeah. Here, we're just going to go to the video over here because this happened yesterday.
The most number of people that could retire possibly in a month is 10,000. We're like, well, why is that? Well, because all the retirement paperwork is manual on paper. It's manually calculated, then written down on a piece of paper. Then it goes down a mine. And I'm like, what do you mean a mine? Like, yeah, there's a limestone mine where we store all the retirement paperwork.
For decades, federal retirement paperwork is manually processed inside a limestone mine in Pennsylvania. The Trump administration has made it a priority to digitize more than 400 million paper records. Records are
I think what it
currently
is
being
look, it's
digitized.
emblematic of an era where our solution to every problem was hire more people to solve problems, use manual processes for stuff. And again, I think people were very well intentioned in doing that. But the reality is, look, it's the year 2026. We don't need to have people filing retirement applications manually.
It was started in 1955. So it looks like it's like a time warp.
It is.
So they're going full digital. It got flipped on yesterday. So it takes a lot less time to get out of there, even though they're still using, walking files over to people. Go here. Here's this one for you. It's your turn with it.
Dude, like, in medication in the doctor's office, they've been doing, like 20 years, 15 years, no paperwork. It's all on the computer. Like, how does it take that long that's crazy.
Yeah, that's cool. They're closing that stuff. Was this the update on there?
Look, would I believed it? I mean, yes, only in the sense that the collection of people that we have here was 100% dedicated to this effort. And I've said this a lot in a lot of the work we've done in the government, which is you've got really good people in government, and I believe that many of them have just been constrained by a system that does not allow innovation and does not allow some element of risk-taking. And look, the only thing I did that was different than any other predecessor was we gave people permission to actually solve the problems they knew needed to be solved. When the administration took over, there were no more than 500 people who had gone through the online retirement system. Today, it's 155,000. So I just think that speaks volumes for what this administration has done in terms of really tackling this tough problem. Look, it's emblematic of an era where our solution to every problem was hire more people to solve problems, use manual processes for.
Yeah, the other thing that they ran into that they're finding out, because there are several different options over the years of them fixing it. And the one conclusion they came to is that people are really good at getting these contracts and not fixing anything and continue to do paperwork. That's why.
Wow.
That's pretty crazy.
Yep. Needs a new revamping for sure.
OpenAI has discussed handing the U.S. government 5% stake. Yeah, they're losing money and they're panicking here. As Sam Altman, chief executive of the ChatGPT maker, has argued that giving the public a financial stake in the company is the best way to share the upside of the AI, including all the losses that he's making right now. So yeah, they got some huge problem right now. So just wanted to throw that out there that he's still got his hat out for more money.
Well, the other part there too. OpenAI discussed handing U.S. government 5% stake, and then he says, "Here comes the bailout of Sam Altman." Well, for a bailout, I think we're going to need more than 5%. I think I would say, yeah, you want to go belly up? We're going to need a lot more than 5%. How about 51%?
Yeah, he missed some sort of metric mark or something like that they were looking at with the expenditures being too high, and he's not going to be as billionaire that he thought he's going to be. So he needs to slow everybody else down. He's also asking the U.S. government to step in and put restrictions on AI because they're getting expensive to develop underneath this company. And some of the other companies got more money and more resources to continue their AI projects. But if you could slow down everybody else just to make sure that it's safe, that's what he is basically ringing the bell on. We could skip them. Now, this was interesting. You take a crack at that because I've never seen anybody prosecuted for this, ever.
Mexican national sentenced to prison yesterday for drugging and smuggling unaccompanied alien children into the United States. Oh, boy. Quote, needing to sedate children with THC under the guise of giving them candy shows just how heinous crimes like this are. Quote, smuggling unaccompanied children into the country, pretending to be their parents, and then lying to U.S. immigration officials shows the lengths to which criminals like this will go to smuggle children across our borders. The criminal division and our law enforcement partners will put an end to this conduct. Protecting children and keeping our borders safe go hand in hand. Dude.
So it's the first one I've seen that's been prosecuted on there, and I kind of pay attention to all these groups and what they're putting out there. So wanted to throw that thing out there.
I've seen some of those, dude. Unfortunately, I've seen a couple of the videos where like the border patrol comes upon a group of them, and they're like holding one of them over the shoulder, and they're like, "Oh, you awake?" And she's like, "Oh, she's just sleeping." And they're trying to wake her up, and she's just not waking up, right? And it's like, yeah, because she's drugged. Oh my god.
Exactly. So that's one story, kind of potpourri here at the end. This is out of Dia, but this is talking about the parliamentarian that's going to kind of run over there in the Senate right now. That's running the Senate and helping Mitch McConnell's group kind of control the Senate here at this point and keep Thune in line for the direction they're going. So just wanted to throw out there. Dude's been hanging out for a long time since Barack Obama.
Fire that woman. It's a woman, by the way, but fire her. Fire that parliamentarian now. Yeah, Harry Reid and Barack Obama put this schlep in there. She has been ruling unfairly against Republicans for years. It's like, wait, shouldn't the Democrats get their own parliamentarian and we should get our own Republican or conservative parliamentarian? I don't understand.
It's kind of, they run the Senate. It's a position. So
pull her out of there for sure. But
what else do we want to get into?
Thune's kind of a jerk.
Ooh. But stop by Venezuela for a little bit just to show you some of the devastation and whatnot that I did see there. They are running the issues that are down there. They've already deported 2 people that were down there to do exploratory, whatever, search and rescue shit from the, California. Said you can't enter the United States. Seems to be an immigration issue going on there. But they're saying this is probably about 60,000 buildings that are damaged. This is Caracas, which is Venezuela's largest city. This is also the capital of that also. So, yeah, some of these buildings went down at a 7.5, took these things down. Some of the other things that we're kind of running into, this is showing the regime's feared interior minister, some guy's Caballero, preventing members of the U.S. rescue delegation from assisting the Venezuelans. So there's pushback with these people as these people are trying to get into access to the disaster areas. And these people are basically pushing them out of the way. You need to go down the street. And he's like, we're going right here. And they're like, no, you got to go down the street. So some of those things have been poking out over here. Other thing that is happening here that they've been finding huge amounts of cash in the buildings, in the rubble, and the police and the military know which building it is, and they're showing up and picking up piles of cash from the debris in these buildings, and these people are yelling at these military guys. They're like, why are you digging through and taking all the good stuff when you should be digging out the people that are, stuck 8 days underneath the rubble itself? So I've seen plenty of videos of people finding like large amounts of cash, and we don't know if this is left over from the ex-regime of keeping them at locations and stuff like that. But people are getting pissed that they're doing that. And there's a picture of these people walking up, like 100 people, ripping the cash up into little pieces. Yes, American $100 bills being ripped up by the Venezuelans there because they don't want those guys coming over and taking all the money. So they just rip it up in little pieces.
Oof! I dropped you
That's
one.
crazy.
If you want to see more of the cash, it's on the bottom one. The bottom one, and there's 2 videos within that. The very bottom one just shows a shitload of cash, and I think it's actually some of the cash is ripped up, like you were saying. Down. Go to the bottom.
Yeah.
That's crazy,
Look at that
dude.
fresh money, baby.
Oh, dude, how pissed off would you be?
I've seen one where it was just bricks of money, like hundreds of bricks of $100 bills all over the place, and these guys were picking up. They couldn't carry it out there. They couldn't carry it all. And the people started noticing it.
They got
the other thing that,
like Breaking Bad, the blue barrels they were putting in the rolls.
I didn't see any blue bag. No, it just the one I saw. This looked like it was like on a shelf or in something that maybe a big, large safe that got crushed in the building or whatever. I just thought that was interesting.
That top.
What was the
video
other
had it.
piece?
They were using the Walter White blue bags, the blue barrels, like in Breaking Bad, and filling those up, and they had other bags and stuff. It's freaking crazy.
The other thing that they're also pointing out is the construction of said buildings here. They're pointing out that there's a very lack of rebar that's in some of these walls and support columns that is out there, that it doesn't have enough that's in there. And obviously, building codes and all that are supposed to be strict in Venezuela, but it seems like a lot of this has been underdone. Another video here. Oops, does it show it right here? This video is showing what the guy's describing as styrofoam that's inside the concrete wall.
Oh my God.
When the building fell. So again, I can't say that this is actually like a structural wall or anything, but it's right up against concrete. This person seems to believe that this is a structural part of the wall, and instead of filling it the whole wall with concrete, it'd be cheaper to fill it with styrofoam. These are inside the, yeah. So these are some of the things that people are walking into. U.S. government has showed up. They've got ships down there, Ospreys, and they're currently rendering aid. Ecuador's giving aid also here at this point. But this seems to be interesting, some of the issues they're running into. Overview, if you wanted to look at all the red dots on the map are destroyed buildings. And if you wanted to look in the area there as you get closer to the capital.
Right on the water too, Hulk. What a coinky dink.
Yeah, a lot of those, right?
Hawaii, California,
And
Venezuela.
they haven't had one like this in, what, 20 years or so, I think?
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Right?
You could see almost the entire town is damaged. They said 60,000 buildings have been destroyed.
Holy shit.
What do you think of the idea the bad guys hit Venezuela for working with Trump? That's my little idea.
Yeah, you punish them.
Turned on the earthquake machine down in Antarctica with the Nazis.
The harps, baby.
We know they got it. The ability to do it, for sure.
Yeah, because we had that one of the high-ranking officials out of Japan, when he left office, he came back and had said that Japan was threatened with an earthquake weapon if we didn't comply with something. That's out of his own words. What else we got? Little pieces out there. Oh yeah. Yeah, might as well throw eggs out there. You remember when the eggs got really expensive and everybody thought it was just because Biden said, hey, kill all the chickens because of the bird flu?
We all remember going to the grocery store and eggs became the poster child for inflation when prices were at a record high, more than $6 a dozen. That was mainly due to severe shortages caused by the bird flu, but it turns out there may have been something else at play as well. The Justice Department in 17 states reaching settlements with 3 major egg producers accused of price fixing that they secretly communicated from approximately June 2022 to March 2025 to influence the daily egg price quotes. Under the settlements, none of the companies admitted wrongdoing, but they will be paying.
Yeah, we're just going to pay a little bit of a fine, few $1 million, even though we probably made hundreds of millions of dollars in selling eggs to the different deal. But only 17 states out there and paying $3.3 million and donating 53 million eggs to food banks, which they're going to write off in taxes anyway. So, yeah, awesome. Good luck.
Yeah, now do the gas prices, right? I mean, that's the same idea. It never goes down as fast. I mean, you can't go to a restaurant anymore. Those prices aren't coming down. And all we need is a little gouging of the American people. So that is, shop local if you can. If you got a farm nearby, grab some of them fresh eggs. But, man, that is just...
I'm going to open a white guy taco stand. Screw it. They can't stop me.
Actually will work. No, they actually tried it. Calls Guzman and Gomez. It's an Australian taco place. It lasted probably 6 months by me. It's a chain, and the food is absolutely horrible. And it's owned by white people from Australia. I don't know if it's gonna work, dude.
No, we don't need to get into the MK Ultra crap. We could skip her. Oh, I thought this was interesting to get into some of the numbers with Rumble and stuff like that. Tron, do you want to take a crack at this?
Guys, right there, Rumble is going into its 5th straight month of declining viewership. Oh no, March of this year we had 192,000 peak with 38,000 average, and April 162 peak with 34,000 average, and May is 147,000 and 32,000 average, and June we have 139,000 peak with a 24 average. They're also down on average 40 channels this month. This is all making more sense to me. Oh no, what's happening?
Rumble. Well, they're just saying maybe the fluff into Rumble and the creators and all that is dying off.
Well,
maybe.
the Danny Bongino comeback. I mean, if you look at those numbers just right there, and then throw on top of all the other ones like Crowder. Who else is? Or like I don't even watch like a little bit, but I watched Bongino, but numbers for them are down. My numbers are up. I don't know. Space Ship's numbers are up. Yours not. We're doing all right. I think we're
I'm always normal. But I mean, I just find it interesting that they're reporting on some of these numbers. We've heard rumblings out of Rumble that they are releasing their extra capacity that they do have. Remember, they bought a crap load of AI data centers and whatnot, and a huge amount of storage, because that's the first thing they did is they did their own storage facility, and they started doing leasing out the storage for the Rumble services itself. So since they didn't need to carry the capacity for viewership, they're leasing out the extra compute storage and AI stuff out for the rest of the community itself, which they just bought another 200 megawatts of energy capacity. So
what does that cost,
they still got plenty of extra. So they ain't stopping, guys. So whether the numbers of viewership changes or not, these guys have positioned themselves into being their own independent cloud service, basically. So, which is good for them and good for us.
What do you think something like that costs, Hulk? Ballpark?
Well, it's part of their big, giant, couple $1 billion deal that they had put together. I'm sure Tron knows more about the numbers about that particular deal, but they bought the large data set company, and the biggest AI system is in Scotland.
Nice. I like it. I'm Scottish.
So this picked up at an extra whole bunch of B100s and B200 NVIDIA chips for extra processing and all that. So yeah, it's moving along. Here's this one for you, Space Yacht. Read that for again.
Yeah, and just really quick, Hulk. I think, the quote declining viewership might also be about that whole, Israel shit. Like, I really do think a lot of the people, maybe some people got turned off with like the Candace and Tucker thing. Yeah, I could be wrong, but who knows? What do we got here? Mr. Ford. Ford rehires 350 engineers after replacing them with AI. Ford's VP of engineering admitted the company, quote, mistakenly thought AI alone could replace experienced workers and still produce high-quality vehicles, per The Verge. Ford has recalled more cars than any other U.S. automaker this year after cutting 5,000 workers since 2020. CEO Jim Farley previously declared that AI is, quote, going to replace literally half of all white-collar workers. Just not yet. And nice rug.
Yeah, so that goes back to that AI guy that's like, hey, United States, you want 5% of the company? I'll give you 5%. Yeah, this is the reason that it's going that direction is because the AI token generation is not producing revenue for all these people. And when it finally comes around to the quarter where it's going to matter and they want to see revenue share, where's my money? It's not going to be there. Right now, XAI has told its group, if you're not directly working on XAI, you have a $200 a week limit to use token codes, because they're just using it for everything. So across the board, including XAI, Elon telling the company that you need to restrict your usage on these tokens because you're spending it on worthless crap. So let's use most of it all for the AI stuff.
Dude, this guy's name is Farley. He kind of, in a weird way, looks a little like Chris Farley.
He does have those eyes and that smile is like,
well, this
boy smile.
This is huge.
Yeah, you want to read that, Space Yacht?
Yeah, breaking. The House has passed, which I don't know how the hell this happened, dude. Like, honestly, the House has passed Rep. Massey's resolution to force the release of the names of congressmen who used the Congressional Slush Fund to pay out for sexual misconduct settlements. These are taxpayers' dollars being used to pay off accusers, and it's all about to be public. The Committee on Ethics must now preserve and public release all relevant records. Hell yeah.
All of them. All of them voted for it.
Dude, that's crazy. That means none of them it could be on that list. I mean, you'd be stupid to vote yes if you were on that list.
We're starting today, right? Anything from today forward. Yeah, I'll vote for that. Today forward. Okay, good. Nothing before. Okay,
is that what it
great.
is?
Yeah. It's probably what it's going to be honest with you. The only way you're going to get 420 people to friggin' agree on something.
Who used. So, I don't know. Maybe you want to hit your little grok button there and ask. But I think it's going to be, it looks like historical, because it looks like that information, it says and release all relevant information.
Oh, non-binding resolution, not law committees. It can slow walk. Yeah, here, read it. Read this stuff.
All right. Sounds great, but it's weak sauce. Here's why. Now, is this somebody else's AI thing? Not in binding resolution, not a law. Committees can slow walk or redact it. Yeah, this is it only covers pre-2018 taxpayer slush fund cases. Post-2018 already banned this. Narrow scope, only specific ethics reviews, not every allegation or case. Transparency only. No repayments, penalties, new probes, or accountability. Victims redacted, which we don't want to know the victims' names. Details limited, and some info is already public anyway. No real reform, the system or personal. It's not like this person's just a Debbie friggin' Downer.
Yeah,
no real
that's pretty
swampy
much
and
what you
drained,
got.
not even close. Like,
Yep, saying the same thing. Yeah.
For 6 former mayors prior Nancy Mace disclosure with post-2018 rules requiring personal repayment by members.
Yep. So yeah, it was pretty accurate. All right, keep going. What else do we got? Oh, you hear this?
RFK Jr. announces, I'm ending emergency liability protection for COVID-19 vaccine makers. Oh, so wait. So if somebody gets hurt, then you can sue them. That'd be really good.
Yeah, so yeah, read this part.
USAID gave its fake HIV and AIDS workers secret code phrases like, quote, I have a headache, to alert USAID if the fake aid workers thought counterintelligence agents discovered the truth that the USAID-funded AIDS prevention workshops were a secret front. Fernando Murillo was typical of the young Latin Americans deployed by a U.S. agency to work undercover in Cuba. Their assignment was to recruit young Cubans to anti-government activism, which they did under the guise of civic programs, including an HIV prevention workshop. He was instructed to check in every 48 hours and was provided with a set of security codes. Quote, I have a headache, for instance, meant the Costa Rican thought the Cubans were watching him and the mission should be suspended. Over at least 2 years, the U.S. Agency for International Development, best known for overseeing billions of dollars in U.S. humanitarian aid, sent nearly a dozen neophytes from Venezuela, Costa Rica, and Peru to gin up opposition in Cuba. It's like, dude,
yeah, well,
all this shit.
Why doesn't the CIA just do that?
Right? And like, why are we messing around all these freaking countries, right? George Carlin. Bring all our troops home, apologize to everybody, line up our friggin' troops on every border, north border, south border, and don't let anybody in. You can leave if you want.
Yeah, so USAID is trying to run a coup in Cuba. Yeah, great stuff. Awesome. Yeah.
Sons of bitches.
That's basically what it was, dude.
We've been
USAID.
hinting at going after Cuba for the last 6 months, so anytime now. Anytime now.
Yeah, it took that money away. Oh, yeah, we're going to play a little bit of this, dude, because this I thought was interesting.
Europe is throwing away its industrial base with Volkswagen announcing 100,000 layoffs on top of the 50,000 it's already cut. Now, the rule of thumb in car manufacturing is multiplied by 5 for supplier jobs, so that's 500,000 jobs. Now multiplied by population, and in U.S. terms, it is equivalent to 2 million manufacturing jobs. Europe is well on its way to becoming an open-air museum for Chinese and American tourists. Last week, dying German car maker Volkswagen, which also owns Audi, Porsche, Bentley, and Lamborghini, announced it's laying off 15% of its workforce. After profits plunged by 3/4 to the point Volkswagen is making 3 pennies on the dollar, which is interesting because that's below their cost of capital, as in Volkswagen's main business is lighting money on fire. This all dragged their shares down 75% since pre-COVID, almost 90% since their peak. The CEO is blaming Trump's tariffs, which gobbled up a third of profits, Chinese competition, which gobbled up their sweetheart margins in China, and above all, Europe's brutal production climate with energy prices and taxes twice U.S. rates, an empire of red tape that, going by compliance hours, is up to 3 times more than the already crippling regulation in the U.S. In short, it is almost impossible to build anything in Europe. Even when you've already got the factory, you would be crazy to build a new factory in Europe. The problem is it's much bigger than Volkswagen. Every major German car maker and most of the rest of its industrial base, so chemicals, steel, pharma, are slashing capacity and moving jobs. Parts maker Bosch already announced 22,000 cuts. ZF and Continental threw in another 20. Krupp Steel is down 11. Delivery company DHL is laying off 8,000. Bayer, 13.5. Put it together, and Germany's lost 638,000 manufacturing jobs since COVID, now running over 127,000 a year, which is 500,000 in U.S. population terms. Worse, it's only the beginning because a bevy of major German manufacturers are setting up bases in America, a landing pad for future jobs. Mercedes and BMW announced $9 billion in South Carolina and Alabama. Rule of thumb is $1 million per job, so that's 9,000 manufacturing jobs. Power giant RWE and pharma giant Boehringer are each pitching another $20 billion. Siemens, Bayer, Merck are all plowing billions into American production. So you've got at least 50,000 jobs already in the pipeline, and it is accelerating. So SX brought to you by the Bitcoin Way. If Japan is what not to do on debt, Europe is what not to do on growth. In the past 20 years, Germany's grown half the rate of the U.S. In fact, it's been in technical recession 3 out of the past 7 years. Take-home pay in Germany, formerly the jewel of Europe, is now a fifth below the state of West Virginia. So how to fix it? Economically, it's simple. Slash red tape, slash taxes and spending, slash the bureaucracy that currently employs 1 in 3 Germans, and build, baby, build some coal plants and nukes. Alas, politically, it is impossible because Germany is trapped in a grand coalition of left and right in order to shut out the anti-immigrant AfD, the so-called cordon sanitaire, basically a government run by Bernie Sanders and Mitt Romney. That means even though the current leader is conservative on paper, he cannot pass the reforms it would take to pull Germany out of its death spiral, all while Donald Trump gleefully poaches Europe's crown jewels to Alabama. Follow for daily videos. Okay, we'll be watching.
So just
see you next time.
Oops, come on, pause. So just wanted to throw that out because the manufacturing jobs that lost over there with Volkswagen, they're talking about selling production plants, like whole facilities, $100 billion, sell the whole thing. So it's not looking very good for them as manufacturing is changing around the world. And Europe is trying to hold its own, and it's not looking very good for them. So, yeah, remember, we're also getting Rolls-Royce. They're going to start producing engines here.
They're hurting, dude. I mean, ever since that Ukraine-Russia deal, and the sanctions, it seems like only sanctions only hurt Europe.
Yeah. And what's the other thing? The whole thing about hypersonic flight and all that. You guys heard about that and what Trump was talking about with that?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
So
supersonic, baby.
So what they're doing is they would rule you can't go faster than this. Is basically what the rule with the airlines were. That's why we're still flying on the same damn airplanes for 50 years. They really haven't changed or got any faster. So the rule was the sonic booms taking out windows and all that. But the way the math works, that it changes at altitude, at temperature, all those sort of things all factor in. Well, with supersonic flight now, they could design the airplane and then make sure that they could fly at a certain pitch and speed that the sonic boom would never actually touch the ground itself. For some particular reason with super science, math and all that, that this sonic boom actually curves itself back up and into the sky and is no louder than a regular jet itself. So the new rule is not how fast you can go, is you can't be this loud. This is your loud limit is what they're doing. So now that's going to accelerate with a 3-hour sonic flight from LA to New York. So
hell yeah,
cut it in half. So I had to go check out what the hell they were talking about and get into the thing and the way that the sonic boom works, and it's tilted up towards the sky at this certain speed. I'm like, okay, you guys are way smarter than me. Yeah. So yeah, that's awesome. That's why it was never changed.
Just don't do it low.
Don't do it low.
Don't do it
on low.
Don't do it on the takeoff. Wait till you get to cruising altitude.
So is there anything else we should throw out? We've covered a lot in a short period of time. I don't know if there's anything left over you guys want to throw out. Bring back airships. I agree with you. We got the Goodyear blimp out here in California.
Blimps are so pedestrian. Come on, man.
I want the flying car that turns into a freaking briefcase.
No, they have flying VTOLs, vertical takeoff and landing. Those are the new ones. And then that supersonic is the company Hulk that makes those is called Boom Supersonic. How badass.
No shit. How long have they been in business? A couple years?
Like 10, 15. No, they've been around for a while. Because I was looking at companies that are publicly traded. and this one's not, because that's the video that was, or that's the aircraft that was in all those promotional videos from our FAA was from Boom Supersonic, and they've been making these aircraft for a while, and it's basically a souped up Concorde with directional boom, like you were mentioning. But
so they've already got production, is what you're saying?
Oh yeah, it's out. That's
how many people fit on a plane?
I'm not sure on their commercial, but they have a handful. They have one called Symphony, and they have like orchestrational names to them of the aircraft. But they're huge, and they look like Concords, and they don't fail like they used to, I guess.
Yeah, no idea of passenger capacity or where they're flying?
Nothing like that. No, it's more for I'm not sure. I have to go check it out again, but yeah, hopefully soon, right? Because the aircraft now, like you said, 50, how many years? I mean, come on, man. Let's advance it. It's America 250. Let's boom to the upside and get us some of that hypersonic jets.
Get some of that Howard Hughes planes going.
Smoke cigarettes.
Then we'll get the
there.
wormholes. Yeah, we can smoke cigarettes like we used to. Well, some of you guys in the chat.
I've smoked a cigarette on an airplane before.
Did you really? That is awesome.
Back in the day.
Holy
Way back in the day. Once.
That's awesome. Tell us more, Grandpa.
I smoked a cigarette on a plane once.
Yeah.
Shouldn't hang
Tell
me
us
on a
more,
hook, Johnny.
Grandpa.
My father hung me on a hook once.
Oh my God. So is there anything else we should throw out, cover, or anything else? Because other than that, we got Saturday. We can roll the rest of that stuff into. I've got an interesting intro song for Saturday morning. I had to go dig for it. It took me an hour to find it, but I did find it. I'm like, this is it. This is it right here.
That's it. My son played this very old song for me. He goes, "Oh, Dad, this is like the first rap song." I'm like, "Really?" It doesn't sound like rap, but it sounded more like country. But you know what they were singing about? Plutonium. Yeah, the plutonium glowing. It's
Back
like
to
really
the future, baby. That's right.
It's a really old song.
I don't remember. I have no idea. You're gonna have to save it for Saturday. We'll put that in the Saturday stuff.
Oh no. We're talking like 1940s old.
Yeah. Yeah, Glenn Jones, I told Tron to F off. Tell us more, Grandpa. Suck it, dude.
Smoking on airplanes. Look at you.
I mean, remember, Space Shot's not too far behind me.
Old.
Yeah.
Old. 2 years, apparently. I thought it was 1.
It goes quick, Tron. Don't worry. You'll turn around,
And no more Hooters,
in the bathroom.
Right?
And
no more Hooters airplanes. They used to have the restaurants, and they used to have chicken wings and clams and
here you
all
go,
that
Hulk.
stuff.
If you want to play a second of this, I drop a short for you. It's actually pretty funny, dude. It's a short, and the band's called the Jubilees from the 1940s, and they're literally talking about
like one where they take like a Tupac song and they do the same thing to it with these guys singing with AI, and it's a Tupac song. But yeah, we get it.
I had never heard of these guys before. The Jubileers.
60 to 80 passengers on that Boom Supersonic. Thank you, Dow Joe.
Thank you for the audience out there. So what are you guys all doing for 4th of July? I got to go out and go to a local park tomorrow night, see some fireworks shows, hang out with people, and barbecue. then Saturday, I don't know exactly what we're going to do, but I got to go someplace, see a big fireworks show. I was thinking about going down to San Diego, seeing the one in the Bay, but I won't be able to make it down there. So we probably stay local, go see the one over by Mount Rubidoux or something. I got some huge fireworks.
I'm gonna drive down to Washington D.C. Tron, you want to meet me in like New Jersey? We'll link up.
Absolutely, we'll carpool.
You should go road trip, dude.
Yeah, road trip is 107 degrees, which is our perfect temperature. That's where Anons and Patriots like to bask in the glory of 250.
How funny was that? And it wasn't even close, right? Like I looked up the weather from that area, and it says like the high of, and I don't know what he meant. Did he mean it was going to be 107 in Washington D.C. or in Rapid City? Because either one of them, it's going to be about 100 in Washington D.C. But
it's only a one in a lifetime thing, so you got to go. I mean, how long would it take you to get down there?
That day with that traffic,
for Space Shot's like 4 hours, dude.
No,
7.
Dude,
that's nothing, dude. That's a trip to Ohio. Let's go. Come on, man.
Trip to Ohio.
I mean, seriously, don't you get on a train and go down there and hang out for the day, get on the train and leave?
No, you don't want to do the
DC.
train. That's
Let's
brutal.
see. It tells me in a car, 6 hours, 20 minutes.
Take a Greyhound.
How long?
6 hours, 20 minutes.
That's nothing.
Dude, I think you should encourage Space Shot to go.
I've driven down to Tampa, Florida from Rhode Island so many times, dude.
You take your son with you, dude. You got enough time. If you left tonight, you'd be good to go. You left after the show, you could be ready for the thing in the morning.
I might miss the show on Saturday. Oh, yeah. No.
That's fine.
Hell no. Hail to the no.
Go.
But thank you, Lori Ruggiero, for gifting a subscription to the channel over on Rumble. I do appreciate that. And this one's for you guys out there. Daniel Turgeon on YouTube dropped a super chat, $5 that says, guys, please look up US Dot Foundation. It's not the period or the dot. It's actually US DOT Foundation. Thomas Clayton Coleman III. I will definitely have to take a look at that and see what that deal is. But thank you, Daniel Turgeon, for that one.
All right. Should I do thank yous?
Yeah, do your thank yous. And I'm going to probably mute and do a little Rumble wallet. Every time I try to mute one of these comments, though, it goes and pins it, of course. But yeah, go ahead. Go do your thank yous.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Let me go through here. We'll get them out. Chicani gifted the shades over there on the pilled side. Thank you very much. John Joe gifted the can. Woked and Walk gifted 117 gold pills. Happy table.
All right, we're going to mute them out for 1 segundo, and I'm going to do the old rumble schmumble here. All right, guys, we hear a lot about crypto, but here's the part that most people miss. Crypto was created so you can actually own and control your own money. After the 2008 financial crisis, Bitcoin was designed as an alternative to banks. So instead of a bank holding your money, delaying transfers, or limiting access, you're the one in control. And if you ever had to wait for a transfer to clear, you felt that problem too. Now fast forward to today. Everybody's heard of crypto, but getting started still feels complicated. That's exactly why I use Rumble Wallet. It takes all that complexity and makes it simple. Choose what you want. Bitcoin, dollar-backed stablecoins, or even digital gold backed by real gold. No complicated setup. It connects with MoonPay. All right, so you can use your credit card, debit card, or bank and be up and running in minutes. And once you're set up, you can even support your favorite Rumble creators like me directly. So do this now. Scan the QR code and click the link in the description box and download Rumble Wallet. From there, you can set up your wallet, tap buy, and you're in the game. And in just a few minutes, you can go from hearing about crypto to actually owning some. Boom. Let's see where the boys are, if they're back in action here. Whoa.
Out there. Are you guys streaming any of this content for Friday or Saturday?
I'm gonna stream
what's tomorrow?
Most likely, Saturday for sure during Boss's speech and the fireworks. I'm gonna have the music show, so we're gonna intertwine that into it. And I also want to show a little bit of that air show though. That might be kind of cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be all day for that.
Maybe I'll be cooking. I'll be having the smoker on with the ribs and the chicken and some shrimp.
Ooh, what kind of ribs and rub? Well, how do you do your ribs?
I do my ribs in the smoker with a nice little brown sugar rub, a little bit of honey into it, so you can get that nice little bark on it. You gotta get that crust on it, and then the key is you gotta wrap it in tinfoil for like an hour. The last hour you put it in tinfoil, and then the last half hour you throw it into a cooler and let it just rest for like 15, 20 minutes, and then boom, you're just ready to go.
Why the cooler?
That makes it
moisture,
moisture, and it condenses all the meat into nice softness, and it's not fall off the bone. You don't want it super fall off the bone. You want it just in between where it comes off, but it really doesn't. But you want to get into it. So good stuff with that nice
meat. Do you char it first before?
You char it during the process in the smoker. You can either use apple juice. You can spray with apple juice, or use a little glaze of honey. But that'll give it that nice bark on the outside, and then you wrap it after the bark for the final moisture seal. But the bark happens during.
I was doing a little old schooler style because I don't have a smoker, so I just kind of burned it on the outside and then covered everything in tinfoil, let it bake that way, and then came out good.
You guys like clams, steamers, little necks?
I actually could say I've never had it.
You can't get it by me. I mean, I love it when I hear you talk about this because I love seafood.
Dude, all right. So I just put this in the chat. Anybody ever make clams or steamers with Guinness? So you put you put your clams and you want to open them up, you'll put them in, you start steaming them or with water or whatever. So basically, instead of using water or whatever seasoning, literally crack open a Guinness and put the Guinness in there. That's it. That's all you need. Steamers or, little necks on a half shell or whatever you want to do. You basically put those in there to open up the clams rather than the water. And I'm not I don't really like the flavor of beer too much. I was never like a big beer guy, but I was like, I don't know, dude. Guinness with that stuff. And dude, it was the best thing I'd ever had. It was so good. Oh my God, dude. It was the best. I mean, I like the clams. I'll even eat them raw with some vinegar and a little cocktail sauce. I haven't had them in years, dude. So many years. It's been so long. I might have to go grab some. I literally might have to go grab some. And they're good for you too. Except for if you put them in butter afterwards, which I have to. But I do like clam steamers, scallops, shrimp, lobster. I can't stand fish. I don't know what it is. I just can't stand fish.
What about sushi?
Nope. I can maybe do some smoked salmon. That's about it. I just don't like the fishy.
No sushi?
I don't like the fishy smell. No, I don't. I never like the fishy.
Salmon, dude. Everything.
No. I'm asking, do you like sushi?
Well, that's the only kind of sushi I'll have is like smoked salmon, or what do they call it, a California roll with the shrimp.
Yeah,
well, that's not even real. But I'm just saying, if you go to an actual place where they make sushi and shit, and don't get the regular crap because it doesn't taste like fish. The stuff they give you is actually really good. I hate fish. I absolutely. My wife likes it. I hate it. I don't want to cook it. Don't want to touch it. But I like sushi.
Ooh, I like haddock with the only fish I'll eat is haddock with Ritz cracker stuffing on top. Because it has to. If I have fish, it has to have something else on top, like to kill the regular, whatever. I'm gonna put it up on here. But yeah, you got the Ritz cracker stuffing on top. And this place, dude, in Rhode Island, it's called Twin Oaks. So anybody that's here in maybe C. Gene or a couple other folks that are in the chat. If you've never had Twin Oaks, oh my God, it's this old it's like an old Goodfellas restaurant. When you go in there, it's still like wood paneling from like the 60s that they never upgraded. All the waiters are men. They don't write anything down. And I guarantee it's worth a friggin' trip to Rhode Island to have their shrimp. They're so good. Shrimp, baked stuffed shrimp cocktail, anything shrimp. I feel like Bubba on friggin' I feel like Bubba on friggin' Forrest Gump. Here's shrimp soup, shrimp salad. Dude, their shrimp is the best. But their haddock with Ritz crackers, dude, every bite tastes like butter, dude. It was so good. And it's probably not healthy because it tastes so buttery, but who knows?
1776 Texan checking in from Space Shots chat. I have a 60-pound hog, a brisket, homemade sausage, and ribs starting them tomorrow.
Damn, that sounds
email me that address. And
now,
I'll see you on Saturday.
We take mail donations if you want to mail stuff.
Yeah, a little dry ice. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Darling USA said you shouldn't be able to smell fish with sushi or even sashimi.
Yeah, it's you don't want to. Yeah.
Exactly. You get down by their belly button, get away.
Is that the sashimi where they cook it with like the lemon juice? Ceviche. That's what that's called. Ceviche.
That's raw.
That's raw too. That's the Spanish side. That's good.
I could never do that.
How about cilantro on there?
You got to be.
It's good.
You got to be a real big seafood fan to eat what I see in the friggin' seafood cabinet when I go over to the market, which is snail salad or seafood salad. Some of these. Oh my God, dude! I'm like, does anybody buy that? The guy gives me a nod, like, nope. I'm like, I see it here every week, and it's freaking gross. Ugh, so nasty.
Yeah, ceviche made with real raw fish. I agree with you, Namester. They're always good. Hot sauce on the top.
Yeah,
it's good stuff. I used to work with the Mexicans. They'd bring it in all fresh and stuff. It's really good, the stuff they make.
I've decided, Hulk, I am getting myself some steamers on Saturday. And lucky. A nice Guinness. I'm gonna make a nice Guinness. I'll even show you guys. I'll record cooking it and so good.
Damn, steamers, bro.
Dude, my
I
brother's
left you a steamer in the bathroom.
Stanley steamer. My brother's buddy used to own one of these shops that he would buy fish and clams and stuff off of the fishermen, and then he would sell them to like the supermarkets and stuff like that, or the local markets or whatever. And whenever my mother or we would have a party at the house, he'd come by with like one of those 60-pound red net friggin' bags full of them, dude. You know, you have 20, 30 people there, dude. We were just stuffed, just eating so many of them. Oh, those were the days. And the best part, the price was right. Free. Can't beat that. Yeah, sushi, nah, no thank you for that. That stuff scares me.
We'll get you a Puerto Rican friend. You'll go to sushi restaurants all the time.
I got a couple Puerto Rican friends. Actually, one of those guys is I was talking to him last week because he actually got fired for insubordination. Apparently, I was like, dude, you should come on a show with me one time. We can argue for an hour. You can tell me what a piece of crap Trump is, and I'll tell you how you're wrong on every single point that I've been telling you for the last 3 or 4 years. Might happen.
What he got fired? Wow.
I guess the general manager. Now remember, we work auto parts. You know what I mean? We pick up auto parts, we identify them, put them away, sort them,
dirt
whatever.
Lot.
Yeah, it's basically like a warehouse. And I guess one of the managers came up to him and was like, "Oh, hey, Manny, I want you to write a report on this for this." And he's like, "Yeah, school's out. I don't write reports." He's like, "Yeah, you can go home then." He's like, "Well, whatever. I ain't writing no report. I sort parts. This is what I do. I don't write reports."
Wow.
He didn't like
Job
that,
description,
apparently.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, you get friggin' essays? We're going to start writing essays on shit? No.
You're going to tell the essay to write an essay? Manolo.
This usually AI like the college students.
Oh, dude, did you see some of the program? I got a couple stories on that maybe for Saturday, dude. Like, I know we've covered some of it, dude, but the counter to the people that are faking the stories are getting crazy. So I got one where it's a teacher's aide, and he's like, dude, I got to show you what these teachers can see. I mean, they can see the whole thing. Like when people write a report now, they actually see everything. That's why all the teachers are making all the kids, upload things through like Google, right? It's because Google is literally recording their keystrokes, how fast they're writing it, how many times literally you can see a video of them typing
Wrong spellings.
Yeah,
went back,
and then correcting
paused for a minute, wrote something else. Yeah.
Yeah, and
but
so
that's what. Go ahead.
Dude, so check this out. So this guy's like, "Oh, teacher's aide." He's like, "See this? It says no AI found." So that's a good thing, right? And then you can see it writing along, and it's making corrections. And it goes, "Oh, 2% chance that this is actually written by a human." And then I guess what this person tried to do was they tried to run it through a program that would actually mimic a human and sit down and fake write it for you, make mistakes as it was going.
They got those. Yeah.
You know how they figured it out though? It was the flow in which the person was writing the message, because they say anybody that writes like a report for 40 minutes, you might start off quick, and then you kind of slow down. You're thinking about things. This guy, whoever wrote the report, was just steady, same speed the whole way through. Boom, 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 boom. Mm-hmm. Dude, it's crazy. So yeah, gotta watch out for some of that stuff. They watch everything.
Well, they watch everything. So yeah, that is the new thing, is that there are AI programs out there that could defeat the monitoring programs now. They act more human. They give it a human jitter, is what I understand what they're calling it.
Well, he said that
they can institute that in there.
He said that they do have them, but he said the guy that used one, and he was saying exactly what you're saying. Essentially, it's like a battle between like athletes and steroid, right? Like, oh wait, this one's banned, so now we got to create something else. It's kind of like a back and forth. You got people with AI making these programs, and then the AI is finding it, and then they're trying to make better programs to not be found. Pretty wild. Or just do your homework.
That's why I think AI is going to fall flat on its face and not be the savior that these CEOs think it's going to be. And there's going to be some big money coming around. It's going to be the reckoning as it all falls apart. It's going to be interesting, but it's bound to happen.
Can't wait. Cannot wait.
Anything else we should throw out, or should we exit out?
We are good.
I'm good, baby.
Yeah. All right. Tron, you want to give your heads up for Friday, Saturday, what you're doing again?
Yeah, guys, I'll see you Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern for Friday Funnies. Get your funny links. We did the SNL with the founding fathers, George Washington, and and how he was going to make our nation great again and all that fun stuff. But he was going into a comedic. Oh, it was funny. You guys got to tomorrow night, 9 p.m. We're going to do it again. And we also have the Billy Idol Mo. And Saturday night is going to be America 250, guys. Keeping It Wheel music show in conjunction with DC. We're going to have fireworks. We're going to have a boss speech, which is going to pretty much turn into a rally. But yeah, Saturday is for us, for America. And it's going to be an awesome time. We're going to definitely see you then. And as always, guys, love each and every one of you. Thank you, Hulk and Space Shot, for a great show. And we'll see you next time. As always, have faith, be encouraged, dig, meme, and pray. Where we go one, baby, we go all. Saturday, 250. Let's go, baby.
Awesome. Mr. Space Shot.
I will be live with Hulkinator on Saturday, but I will also be live.
I like that show.
Yeah, I'll be live tomorrow from apparently 12 to like 4:30. So I'll be live with Ghost and Mike at 12, and then jumping off at 2, hopping on with Tron and the round table there at 2. So 12 o'clock tomorrow, and then 1 o'clock p.m. Saturday and Sunday. Mr. Hulkinator on Saturday, of course.
Yay. So with that being said, we appreciate everybody always coming out and hanging out. Make sure you leave comments on the bottom of the video and in the live chat. Get over to the Twitter feeds and give us a little like, retweet, and a follow. All those metrics do help. And please make sure you're typing in the live chat. If you get a chance, go to both sides and chat on both sides, all three of us, because there's new metrics that they are counting. So we need more chatters in there. And like Space Shot always says,
we do appreciate each and every one of you wonderful world patriots out there for tuning in. And until that next one, thumbs up, like, and subscribe. Peace.
Much love. Be good humans.
Oh, where's my song? Intro. Where's my song?
Something special is happening in here. That's right, it's brackets and jackets, bringing it back for brackets and jackets. Special Epstein Island edition. That's right, folks. Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein, the man with the island, which is suspiciously close to Haiti. That's right. You see this man, Jeffrey Epstein, is funding lots of people. He's funding lots of people on the street to make sure his shit doesn't get out. That's right. They want the record sealed. And they're paying a lot of people. Epstein's paying a lot of people. Oh, boy. For one, he's got a whole Mossad media matrix in America. And I would bet you anything that Alex Jones is one of them. Prove me wrong. That's right, Cappy's in the portal. Cappy's in the portal. Cappy's in the building with songs about Epstein. It's Breakfast Jacket's Epstein edition. Guys, I had some epiphanies today. I had some real big epiphanies about some guys. A big network of guys and spies and lies and liars. All right, think about this for a minute, okay? The guy in Portland, the scientist that just got busted for producing CP, that guy is 1 degree of separation away from Epstein. Epstein, the investor that lives in West Palm Beach, Florida. I know a guy who lives in West Palm Beach, Florida as well. Investor as well. Also involved as well. And all is not well with these guys. The Florida boys, the Glow boys, the Scott Israels of the world. You see, Epstein is Hillary Clinton. And Epstein is Haiti. And Epstein is a big network of media assets. By the way, did you know that Steve Bannon was going to that guy for money? Also, Epstein is Epstein Oprah. Epstein is Chris Tucker. You remember him. Epstein is also Kevin Spacey. Epstein is also Prince Andrew. Epstein is also... Who else is Epstein? Who else is Epstein? Tell me. You guys know? Who else is Epstein? Is Epstein Big Pharma? Is Epstein Bryan Singer? Is Epstein Naomi Campbell? Yep, all of the above. All of the above. Who is Epstein? Epstein is the keystone of a whole motherfucking matrix. And once you pull it out, it all falls down. Dersh was there too. That's right, we're dropping red pills every day. Dropping red pills in the best kind of way. This is brackets and jackets for the denizens